Welcome everybody to game 11 at 11. Well, it was almost at 11 of Void Prime. 11sies. Hey, Snacks is here. Hi, Snacks.
What's up, Debbie?
Hey, Snacks.
So, where we last left off, the guys had gotten down to the level of what they have now learned is called Subsite Bridge by TMC, and they're in the same level as the chamber, which is not the lowest, but it's the lowest purposefully habitable. And now, in searching the place, they found another Chris. They found a Wyatt, who claims to be part of the original team that came in with Chris, and also claims to have been purposely trying to kill them. And in addition to discussing things with them, suddenly something started coming towards them through a bunch of sealed doors by ripping those doors open. And where we last left off...
Liching Hour and crew.
Great timing, guys. We just started. So welcome, Liching Hour, and all of you raiders. So where we last left off, the guys had enough time to set up a gauntlet of danger as something big coming their way was headed towards them. They unleashed said gauntlet as it ripped open the wall, taking a lot of damage, and now instead of a single thing that was once Chris, now they see a Cronenberg-esque piled together. Help me out. So-and-so the Grafted from Elden.
Oh, Godric?
Godric the Grafted-esque Chris. It's like a God Chris the melded Chris.
Chris the melded.
Chris the melded
one.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the melded one, that should be a boss if it isn't already, because that definitely sounds like a suffix for one.
Yeah.
And so here we are. So Chris has ripped open a wall, and now I will roll initiative. So let's do some badass music because tonight's fight night.
It's real fighty.
This is a Grim and Perilous place just raided with 14 people. Oh my god, this is getting wackadoo.
Grim and Perilous.
Thanks for coming by. So,
thanks everybody for stopping in.
Gentlemen, you are coming right at the kickoff. We are on the fourth game of the same rundown, overrun science facility with human horrors. And the thing that was once a bunch of separate Chris's that's now compiled together has tore its way through the wall. So, what's up? Defenders of Kobold, I know him.
Word up.
What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, Chuck?
Some of these
Chuck?
people.
So, this thing has ripped through the wall and multiple... You see that... I'm going to ping right here. Watch for the ping. Ooh, that's where the actual face is. However, if you look close, you'll see up along the back a lot of tiny black beady eyes that roll all around the neck muscle mass-ish. Neck spine, it's a speck. It's a speck 9. So, it rips things open. I'm not gonna keep him on the same initiative as the other Chris's. I'll give him his own. Oh, boo. He did not roll well. So congratulations. He got a low bar. You guys all had held actions. They were all used. He ripped open the wall. That was one action, and now he is going to take a swipe at Exterminator. Exterminator, what's your deal? Do you have a bunch of stuff that prevents me from swinging at you right now?
Well, you've got that object in front of you that might be cover.
Right.
And
I forgot about that object. Okay.
then you're also attacking through my cloud.
Yes. He is going to move said object first.
All right. I'll be there, Defenders of Cobalt.
I gotta move your cloud.
I'll definitely be a Gen Con.
Me. And then I gotta get through the map to stuff and...
Also, didn't Spicy Mike have a held action to charge in or something?
Did we all do our held actions?
Spicy Mike
He jumped in and he punched him in the head at the end of last game or something like that.
Yeah.
They had a whole...
Oh, no. The last thing that happened is the door shut on him. And then he ripped the door. He ripped the wall open. So Mike
the door trap.
might have a held action.
Yeah,
However,
I think he made a whole thing about it when I was editing, saying like, "Let's not forget that I did this."
Okay. Man, I'm just remembering him describing it, but not doing it.
Oh, yeah.
So,
He's gonna
and with
puncher-size
that,
something. And that was really important to him.
it bashes the cover towards you.
Right.
And
Definitely jump over it.
yeah, sure you do.
Face my
And
bow.
I hit a.
Probably hit me.
I think I hit a 22.
Yeah. If I have any cover, that might matter.
And does the cloud give
The
you
15% miss chance.
15% miss chance, he says.
1-5, yeah.
Okay. So if I roll under 15, I got a 40.
All right.
So, shablam!
Bring the heat.
You get hit with a cabinet of medical supplies for a whopping that can't be a thing. For 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ugh. Okay. Character at there.
Oh, yeah, somewhere in that mess.
He's under there. Yeah, I'm here. Moving for a second.
And that ends up eating its turn. That bashes into you and it continues on. So it just knocks you. It doesn't knock you. Well, actually, give me an athletics or a fortitude. Let's do
acrobatics.
Dex. Yeah, let's do Dex. Dex makes the most sense.
I do acrobatics.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It should be.
I
Okay.
got 22.
Okay, you manage to take the hit and stay on your feet. So you're not knocked prone and you're not knocked back.
Nice.
It bashes into this desk, and the desk managed to scooch back, but it doesn't crush all of you. Exterminator, you're up.
All right. Well, that being what it is, I don't really care for this. Where is he standing, technically? Is he in that bottom corner down here?
He's technically in the doorway. So I'm going to put him... So I'm going to pick... He's in this cloud. This center cloud here.
Okay. Well, I see a lot of people that need a clear shot that I'm in the way of. I see a spicy Mike that's going to be coming in for melee here. And I see a way of splitting the battlefield up a little bit. So Exterminator is going to use his ability we were talking about earlier. Where he is going to disassemble and reassemble through the cloud 10 feet away.
Oh, cool.
Punch his way over around here.
Okay, you guys literally see he suddenly becomes cloud-like, but it doesn't look like smoke that just wafts in a direction. It looks like smoke that all has a purposeful No, that's a poor analogy. It looks like smoke if it behaved like a swarm that moves all purposely in one direction and starts to reassemble.
All right.
Go upstairs.
Well, I'm probably going to eat a attack of opportunity here, but we'll go with it. So I'm going to go ahead and since I have the cloud out, I have to be using my actual gun. So the sheet caller, that's the AoE gun. How am I going to lay this out? I guess I'll make it between like here and here.
Okay.
So I'll put 2 portal things down and we'll light them up with the electric sheet stormcaller, or as we call it, the Louisiana Nightlight.
Louisiana Nightlight.
26 to hit.
The beam of... Hold on. I got stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, pew! All right. How much was it?
10
26?
damage. Yep.
And that's hitting an EAC, right? There's no... Okay, so...
Correct.
It arcs all along him.
Takes 5 of my battery charges out. And I will use a swift action to keep the nanites repairing Spicy Mike.
Okay.
So Spicy Mike will get, so now it's 2 stamina and 3 temporary hit points.
All right.
Did the melded Chris just take its turn?
It did.
I think you take 2d6 burning damage from...
Oh, yeah.
1 from the petrol and 1 from my laser.
Roll it then.
Damn right. Good memory.
Right. Good. I'd forgotten clean about that.
4 damage. You have to take an action to put out the fire, right? As I recall.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's 4
There's
fire.
There's one from mine too. You recall,
1 from your
because-
petrol and 1 from my sniper
Yeah.
crit, so it's 2d6. Do you want to roll the other d6?
No, I
or-
said you do them both.
I did. All right, it's 4 damage. I didn't roll that great.
Dax, I get to do an attack of opportunity, so I don't want to waste that. That's important stuff.
It's gonna suck,
This is likely. I think you got a good chance here. 15.
You miss me.
I miss you. Yes, I.
Well, yes.
So-
15 wouldn't be too far off.
Yeah, it's
Where did-
pretty close, but
Where did Jeff even go to?
I'm
He's
hiding.
underneath a pile of stuff at the feet of multiple.
Oh, that's why I'm not
Never
seeing
seen
it. Okay, it's under all
Okay.
the clouds. That's what I'm not
Dax,
seeing.
you are up.
I just need to make sure I know where he's at before I torch the entire area.
No, you
That's
don't.
why
you
I
don't
cleared
know
the
that.
lane.
Just shoot it. Just shoot it. Shoot it.
All right. So let's see. Dax is going to use new stuff. We're not fabricating any arms tonight, though, I don't think. But because he can, Dax is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right up to here,
Oh wow, getting up in there.
and he's gonna hit him with the good stuff. Where do I put my character sheet? Oh, there it
That's
is.
why I ate the AoE.
Yeah, I'm not putting the AoE on you. That's why I'm using this one instead.
No, I was talking about the attack opportunity.
Oh yeah, jolting surge.
All right, last time I saw this spell, I hit really fucking hard, didn't it? Holy
Last-
Jesus!
Okay, so that's
Hold on.
a 27 for the attack, and if that hits,
EAC, that does
Yep. so it does 12 electricity damage,
hit. Nice.
Nice.
Yes.
and that was 1, 2, 3, 4 movement. So 5, 6. I run back up there because I have agile casting now, so I can run, hit him, and run away.
Nice.
All right. So, Exterminator runs in to the middle, reforms in the cloud, pulls out Louisiana Nightlight, gets shocked, turns around, swipes at you. You run in, and then backs away. It is flailing around looking for a target. Helios, you're up.
I think just so that we're not all clumped up for any kind of awfulness, I'm gonna take a few steps over. How high are some of these desks and tables we're behind, just in terms of like line of sight, like waist high with some of the computer monitors and stuff on them? Would I still be able to shoot over them?
Ooh, wait, I rolled low. I technically should have gone before Dax because I rolled low.
Oh.
And Dax is at the end of the initiative. So I'll go now. See.
If he's at the end, how come I didn't go?
Because you must have gone with a held action.
16.
Something else.
I knew I fired my gun as my held action. Didn't you shoot too? Didn't we all like shoot at it?
Yeah, you shot the petrol tank.
So this is the held action round.
No, we just resolved all the held actions and started at the top of the round, I think. No, we started with Exterminator.
I had just supercharged Tim's weapon, and he had fired, and that I think was what the last thing we did at the end of the last game was.
You know what? I'll just put him after Helios, and then that way it's like not a dick move, and we're still in the same flow. So go ahead, Helios, and I'll go after you.
You got it. So these are high enough. These desks give a bit of cover, but I can still shoot over them if I were like to.
Yes, that would be soft cover.
Sure.
Hold on, or partial cover. Let me check. Love checking cover rules.
Give a little bit of room so we're not all grouped up when it inevitably, like throws up on us or something.
That'll be
Yeah.
partial cover.
Sweet. I will move over here and lining up. I will focus and cast Day's Wariness.
Oh, look at
On
that
it.
damage. Good
I
God.
rolled really good on the damage. If it hits, its DC's actually 17 because of spell focus.
Okay.
So 17 will save. So I launched the opponent's mind forward in time, forcing the experience a day's events in a moment. You take 48 damage and become fatigued during the duration.
Oh, nice.
And if you're already fatigued, you become exhausted.
I got a dirty 20 for my will save.
All right, so you succeed. So you do not become fatigued, and you take half damage. So
That's
half-
25.
it was 24 damage. So you take
24
12.
damage. Okay.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't get a long rest. It was a really long fight day, is what it was.
And that's my round.
Fatigued. Okay.
Fatigued is bad if it hits
Yeah,
you.
yeah, it is. Days
Yeah.
rest. You launched for an experience in a moment in time. All right, as you walk up and you focus, you feel a pulse glow. Actually, no, it's almost like a fader, a dimmer switch on a light bulb, and it fades up softly, very vibrant, and all of a sudden you see a little spark of the same glow hit all the eyes all at once around it, along its face and its neck spine, and then you see the hands go up. Now it's my turn. Multi-Chris is going to... Exterminator's right there. So I think I'm just going to go for Exterminator.
All right.
Good luck, buddy.
I think it'll be
Okay.
okay.
That's a lot of arms.
It is a lot of arms.
Okay. I got a 24.
Yeah, that'll hit. Still the same 1-5% miss chance.
I'll roll for each of these. So I'll roll to see if I hit you first.
Oh,
then I'll
each
roll
of
the
these.
miss chance.
That's not good.
Well, it's a lot of hands.
Don't like the sound of that.
Does a 15 hit you?
No,
Okay.
I like that. That's good. You can do more of that.
Okay, well I didn't. So you got hit 3 times out of 4.
Oh,
You guys see a bunch of clawed hands, jagged wrists that have extended off and broken into separate fragmented phalanges, all strike down at once.
Okay.
I'll get a miss chance.
I'm gonna throw up defensive dispersal. I'm gonna spend a nanite surge to do that. It's gonna reduce the damage I take by my level plus my con bonus, and
Okay.
give me a bonus to a saving throw if it requires one.
Okay. So here we go. I gotta roll this 3 times. That went through your cloud. That went through your cloud. That's the lowest, a 22, but it's still too high for a 15.
I didn't expect it to catch very many, so
Okay.
But at least there's a chance.
Even if it catches one.
So you're
it's worth it.
saying there's
Yeah.
a chance.
There's a
Where's your
chance.
chance out here?
Damn. Now, 09, all right, would you be taking careful note here as to the order of events that is about to take place with Exterminator? I mean,
Just
if this
go
thing
through an
drops
open door.
him after coming through a door, I just want to be
13
noted he
points of
was down
damage,
before I
Exterminator.
unleash fire in his general direction.
How much did you say?
13,
Okay. Wow.
8,
So I reduced the first one by 8 damage, so I take 5 on that first one.
okay, so 13, then 8, then 12.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's no bueno.
Whoa.
Wow.
And then it is going to step, a 5-foot step out of the door.
Oh my.
Yeah, you don't want any part of that, guys.
No.
No, we do
And
not.
Spicy Mike is getting to run in. And then he disappears in a blast of pattern.
Oh shit.
Aw,
There goes the tank.
that's not good.
Yep.
Wyatt,
Stamina back.
you guys gave Wyatt a gun.
He's got a. Yeah, he had the
Tactical
auto
pistol.
He's got a tactical pistol, yes.
Okay, Wyatt's going to move behind this desk and fire off. Did he get 1 shot or 2?
If you if you moved, you don't get 2 shots. I think.
Okay,
You don't
thank you, because I am not solid on gun combat yet.
If you
I'm
take
still
a-
hazy.
Full action is basically you can do a full attack, and then it's a -4 to.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a -4, I think, to the second one, isn't it?
-4 Ghost Rider.
Both to both.
Is it both?
Yes.
Oh shit. Okay, I was thinking it was just the second one.
No.
No, yeah, it's a big
That's
penalty.
brutal.
Let's see.
That's brutal.
It is brutal.
Good thing I ain't worrying about that.
He hit.
Nice. You
Well, what's the
finally
damage
found
on
a
it?
weapon.
What's the
Think
damage
attack-
on his thing?
Attack pistol's like a D6.
D4, isn't it?
D4? On
Isn't it?
D6. It's the D6.
Is it D6?
I'm pretty sure
Okay.
it's a D6.
Because I know some of the weakest small arms are a D4, and my energy raise a D3. Like, there's almost no difference in them, so that's why I don't ever actually own one.
So with that, oh, he got max damage.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
he shaved a solid. He shaved a six damage off of him. Woohoo! You guys get to add your dex bonus to shots.
Nope.
Nope.
Depends.
Specialization.
Not to
Yeah.
damage. Not to damage. Only to
Okay,
hit.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you see him shoot a chunk of torso, flies off the side, spatters against the wall. 09, you're up.
This right here.
Uh-huh.
Can you describe this to me?
This is one of those chambers in which you can safely insert your hands into gloves, and then that thing is then monitored and or potentially analyzed, and or these 2 tanks are on the side are actually cylinders that allow you to infuse either a gas or a liquid into the chamber, and this top thing is a modular scanning unit that allows you to read or blast whatever you need inside.
Perfect. I do a roll over the top of this computer system and come back here. And then I will use my new feat called Amplified Glitch. And I am going to cause the scanner on this machine to glitch out and start scanning him.
Okay.
So I have to roll. The DC is 15 plus 1 plus 1.5 times the CR of the target. So what is the CR of this target?
The CR of the target.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
spells. I have a few spells too that
Oh,
the
man.
CR of the target becomes.
CR of a piece
important.
of equipment.
No, CR of the
No,
target. I'm
the
targeting
monster.
Oh,
him.
whoa. He is a 7.
Oh.
So
Okay.
Makes that kind of tough.
That makes Days Monster not gonna work.
Yeah.
what does this math end up being? 7 times 1.5 plus 1 plus 15 equals DC 26.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a toughie.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's see it.
Yes.
Oh, we did it.
30.
So he
Why were we worried?
is now shaken.
He's shaken?
Yes.
He's
Hell
shook?
yeah.
For 2 rounds.
shook. -2
Nice.
penalty to ability checks, attack rolls, saving throws, and skill checks.
Oh, that's nice.
That is very nice.
So this starts whirring and making odd noises and really, really confusing him. Something may be happening right now.
Dax, you're the closest one to notice that this scanner fires itself on and starts immediately infusing 2 separate fluids into the center, and then it starts leaking them out the tops. As the scanner suddenly, you see, and it shoots a perfect grid laser that suddenly, you see something snap, and the laser grid starts flashing towards Multi-Chris. And you see a face out the back and like look and snap at it. So now its spine has an additional face that's grown out the side.
Oh, fantastic.
Terminator, you're up.
All right. Let's see. I'm going to immediately use a swift action to heal myself, so regeneration. So I'm going to get 2 stamina back and gain 3 temporary hit points. And I am going to use...
Yeah.
I'm going to need to move first. This one's here. Alright, Exterminator is going to back up here. It's a 5-foot step. And then he is going to fire again with his sheet collar. So let's go right. Actually, is there anything in here, like these canisters or anything, that look explosive?
These canisters look extremely sealed for something that needs to be, that could be potentially pressurized. But you don't know if they're full, you don't know if they're empty, and you don't know what's inside of them.
All right. No guts, no glory. We'll go ahead and set an arc across from here to here.
Okay.
We'll give her a shot. Hit the deck.
Hold on. Let me get my super cool effect.
I missed.
You missed?
Probably. I got a 16 on
do.
the hit.
But you do hit the canister, which is important.
Yes.
Because the canister is a stationary target.
Can't miss a thing that doesn't try to dodge.
So as you fire this thing out, you see Multi-Chris throws up a quick wall of arms that line up like a little phalanx, and then it grounds through to his leg. You see it hurt him, but it didn't seem to do a great deal of damage. He's not reacting in pain. However, the canister next to you does shake and explode in a blast of white mist that's extremely thick.
Oh. No, that may not have been as ideal as I'd hoped.
And go ahead and make a fortitude save.
Oh, yeah?
DC of 12.
Okay. We'll see if any of these apply. I got a 15.
You take 4 points of cold damage.
Okay, goodbye temporary hit points.
Instead of 8. And Chris... Oh, I think he failed.
Nice.
I think you...
Hey, fuck,
Yeah, he
fuck face,
failed
you thought
by
I missed?
one. No. He actually failed by worse than that, right? Because doesn't he have a -2 to saves or just
He
attack?
does.
Yes, he does.
have.
Okay.
He does.
He
yeah.
So he took 8 cold damage from that.
Nice.
And I forgot on his turn he takes 5 fire damage because he's still burning. Because he took that. I didn't hit him with the fire damage right when he took.
Okay. I'm gonna use a legendary action of recall, and you see both the Chris mouths go. And then you all feel an intense itch that immediately becomes a stabbing pain. Dax, I believe you're the only one this doesn't apply to. Because I don't think Chris has physically struck you.
Nope.
Oh.
I have not
Okay.
been struck by a Chris
So,
either.
Helios, Mike, who's not here, Exterminator, and 09 have all been hit by the tongue of Chris. So all of you have to roll a fort DC.
I remember that tongue.
It's a DC 17.
You've all been tongued,
17.
which is really impressive because 09
Motherfucker, I nat 20 that shit.
doesn't even have a mouth, so I don't know how he got tongued. But
I actually
It
don't
takes a
think
licking,
I've
it
been
keeps
hit
on ticking.
by a Chris.
You were early on. It was like you were near a door or something. I remembered thinking it was weird if this came up down the line for rationalization, because I always forget you're
I nat 20'd.
largely organic.
We both nat 20'd.
Nice.
We definitely take a licking and keep on ticking.
Did Tim pass?
Oops,
I didn't
did
get
not-
licked.
did not
I've
mean
not
to
taken a
add my
single
notes
point
there.
of damage in 3 games.
Sorry.
Okay.
All
So I
right.
mean, you didn't have to worry about it.
Nope.
Gotcha.
I'm doing the healer thing.
I thought he said I was the only one who didn't. That's why I was like, oh, well, I thought I was the only one who didn't have to roll. So that's what I
All
thought you
right.
did.
You
back
guys,
ready with heals.
you guys only take half damage from this. It is a whopping 4 of piercing damage. As hey, decoy. 09 and Exterminator, you feel a painful. It feels like the opposite of a blood draw. No, it feels like a blood draw coming from the inside, like the needle is puncturing you from the inside out and then pulling the blood with. And at that point, you each see a stream of blood fly across the room, and as it hits open air, it begins to gel and take on a viscous appearance, and it merges with Multi-Chris. So
Like that.
Nope. Don't like it.
Dax and Helios, you see that. And what's weird is with 09, you even see some mechanical component. You see some small metal fragments come with, and little bits of like some of the various fluids in 09 that are not biological, and yet both merge into Multi-Chris. And you guys see some of his wounds stitch themselves up.
Great. That's
Don't like
not
that.
good. Don't like that at all. That's a bad thing.
And now, Dax, it's your turn.
All right. Well, seeing that things are flying out of bodies and merging with Multi-Chris, Dax very wisely reaches for his Zapco, pulls it out, and it has a bunch of tiny little needles on it, and he points it and fires off Caustic Conversion.
Okay. The hell does that do?
Something that converts caustics.
It's coming.
Oh, that's a lot of d4s.
So the attack looks like it hits an EAC of 14 is probably not going to make it.
It misses. Flying magical knights that convert water vapor around your target into acid. Jesus Christ.
That's pretty cool.
That's amazing.
It would continue to take 5 acid damage every round after that.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Oh man.
All right, you fire it off, and then they embed in part of the ceiling beyond the arc of Chris as it's flailing in the room. And hold on. Yeah, no, it does miss. I think because it had -2 to AC,
Yeah.
right?
To AC.
To AC. Yeah, it does miss. All right, and then you see, and a part of the ceiling is now starting to corrode.
Well, all right, that was my spell, so now I get to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I go hide behind this area back over here as I reload.
Helios, you're up.
Yeah, you know what? We're just gonna take a full action and try and laser rifle this son of a bitch. Come on, Lilith.
Oh, another crit.
She wasn't with me last game, but after that pat in the back from Dax.
Another
oh, man.
burn.
Yeah, so that's
So
3d6 burn now.
So that's
Oh, roasted.
so that's
Yeah.
20 plus 6 burn damage.
I assume the first shot there totally missed at an 11.
Yeah, that missed. That missed.
Yeah, the second, that's. Oh my god, I rolled almost max on that.
Okay, hold on. So, did it already calculate it like a crit?
Yep.
It did.
Yes, it
So
did.
12
it
plus
did.
8 is the double damage. And
Okay.
then it gives you a burn on that, and he rolled max on the burn.
Jesus. So 26.
Wow.
Okay.
That was a beefy hit.
That was
my friend.
amazing.
That was my first
impressive.
attack. That's why
Damn Zapco stuff is beautiful.
It is.
Zapco products are really
You get
quality.
your hand on some Zapco products. Let me tell you what.
All right, so that's
It's a
2
shame
out
the
of that
cameras ain't
battery.
rolling.
It's a shame the cameras ain't rolled. You fire up with come on, and you see as Chris flailing around, you shear part of its neck meats near the primary head, and then it lops off an arm as well, as that all catches fire. And his scream kicks up into a pitch I can't do.
Ugh.
Now he
It-
takes his burn damage. 2d6
So-
burn
Oh yeah,
damage.
now it's his
So he's
turn, so he takes burn damage.
3d6 now. All right. You grab a 3d6 here. Ooh, yes. That's 13 fire damage.
13 fire damage.
Takes an action to extinguish the condition.
Okay. On its turn, it is going to take a 5-foot step towards you because you shot in the face. And then as it does, the flames erupt, consume, and you see the eyes right here engorge, pop, and burn as you see fire gout across the jaw and back up along the neck, and it burns to death.
Yes. Nice.
Oh,
Oh, that thing was nasty.
that was terrifying. You okay, Exterminator? Oh
Hell
my god.
yeah.
Oh, that
Job
was
done.
Dax
Oh,
reaches
little baby.
up. Dax reaches up and flips that switch back to off on Helios's gun.
What would you do?
And then the switch is just, does the switch just disappear after that?
It's like it's gone. Like suddenly you can't find the switch that he flipped. You gotta turn the safety off when you ain't in combat no more. You can't leave that thing on all the time. That's dangerous.
Okay, you're gonna show me where that thing is again next time, right? Like,
Oh yeah, I'll show you. Don't worry.
all right.
They're real easy to install.
Oh,
They're really easy to install.
Lilith. Oh,
Hey, y'all might want to make sure he's definitely dead. You know, just keep burning him or something. Poke him with a stick.
what?
Now I'd just like you to
Ugh.
note, Exterminator
Just
asked for me to
God.
burn him. Can I get that for the record?
Yeah. All right, go right ahead. Just let me back up here. Oh Jesus. Oh.
I
Dax
mean, it's
walks.
pretty gross, but you know.
Dax walks over there and just kind of kicks it a couple times.
On your first kick, a number of arms immediately flare up and swipe in your general direction, but they don't hit, and they are burning and shaking. So though they appear to be like seizing, they're easy to dodge. But it
It's
yeah. How do I put this? Who's got the best medicine right now?
Yeah, pretty
What?
high medicine.
it's
Question.
gotta be Helios, right?
Mine-
I've got a 10.
That's better than mine by 4. So.
Or is it?
Yeah.
Exterminator, with your general knowledge of all things that need to be exterminated, this hazards back to to your time having to deal with Carthakian
Oh yeah.
Arthonyx, who have multiple separate nervous systems.
And you,
Yeah,
when
back
you
when I was
see-
fighting 2 yaks and a dog, they had 2 nervous systems, so you gotta watch out for that stuff.
when you
You know,
see the
sometimes-
arms flail, you see Dax goes into his the battle stance, and he starts swatting away at the arms.
That's amazing.
I mean, there's like 2 people in there, right? So
Yeah, Kasathian battle stance.
Might be
that's
more
the
than
name of it.
2.
Whew.
yeah, it's a doozy.
So,
Should open these doors up again. Check on
Well, actually,
rest.
if we open the doors, I believe we still have one more friendly, well, not so friendly, in the room over here.
oh, you're right. He's still in there, ain't he?
All right,
Oh.
give me a second. Let me hang around here for a minute.
That's right.
Yeah.
We need a full sweep, don't we? Oh Christ! All right.
Go ahead and reset that over there, and then go and knit up a little bit.
All
And,
right.
got like I think another 8 rounds is sitting in here if we don't get interrupted of healing.
These, anyone into actual HP damage?
No.
Nope, we're good.
All right. you go ahead and give yourself that stamina. We'll take up some positions here to get this last one covered. Hey, I'm gonna knock on the locked door that's right here. You guys, all safe in there?
Yeah, is it gone?
The big one is, but I think there's still a few stragglers. So, best you
Hey,
guys look
y'all might want to wait a second though. We don't know what came down the hallway, and Sermir's just gonna start walking.
Oh God, yeah, stay in there. I'm gonna don't check the cameras.
The cameras are turned off.
Oh, good.
Are we going this
Peek
way?
around-
Are we
peeking
gonna
around the
leave
corner.
our friend in the door over here?
What?
The one
I
that's
mean-
still...
He's on the other side of the door, isn't he?
Yeah.
Currently is, yeah.
Gonna peek around the corner here, see what's down the hall.
Oh yeah, how's the butthole looking?
You see,
But
It's
we'll
real
destroy-
prolapsed.
Yeah.
you see some kind of butt as described by Helios, fried on the floor over here.
Oh, it's got a hell of a sunburn. I think it's dead.
But this
Well.
door is ripped open. So is all these doors aren't anymore.
Okay.
So you can see
is it?
all the way down. And it's just this long hallway of ripped open metal and flickering light fixtures and cast shadows.
Yeah, that looks like a place a big ass monster would come from. It's basically a shit
Alright.
show over there.
Well, all right then. I mean, if we gotta sweep this place, you don't see anything else down there. We got one more scratching at a door back here, and then I think we
It's
might be
hard to-
clear.
It's hard to tell. It looks like there's some kind of like sliding door action leading into like a special area or something. If I were to guess, it's like the time I was working at a nuclear facility. You have a certain area where you're just trying to take out the pest, and they don't want you in that room, so you got to go through two doors. You have to have guys pushing the buttons at the same time and that kind of thing.
Looks like a lot of doors.
Oh, hell yeah, there's a lot of doors down there.
Well,
It's
there
like,
might be
uh,
more than one of this thing. So
I mean, I guess we go that way first if you want.
Well, it's up to you guys.
Well, I don't mind, but I like to keep my six covered. They taught us that back in the corps. That you gotta watch your six.
I'm with Dax on this one, and I don't like leaving our non-hostile Chris's so close to.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
was just checking this six over here, considering it was open. But all right,
Good point. No, that's fine. Okay, how do we want to handle this one?
Well, my thought is I'll psychokinetic hand the door from here, so none of us have to get all that close. And when the little door flies open like zoop, y'all just blast it.
All right, I'll take
Now,
a
you
position.
realize
behind
I
the
have
desk
control
here.
of the door, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing, man.
Exterminator, I need you to make a will save.
My
You got
thought
it.
was, I was going to open the door, right until the instant he tried to walk through, and then I was going to shut the door, trapping him in the door, and then we can just shoot him from a distance.
Ooh, I like that.
Oh,
Good
that's
point, too.
fancy work. Can you get the door open and shut that quick?
Well, maybe if I only open it just enough.
Exterminator, I told you about. God, it would have been a while ago now, at least 3 games, that you had a stat that was going to be based on some sort of mental stat that you would keep having to roll long term.
Okay, yeah, I think I remember that.
Okay, you may choose to roll it now.
12.
Okay. You felt a wave of familiarity. Some sort of energy or sensation just washed over you, and you felt it before. You can't put your finger on when. But you also feel you politely shoved its influence, set its influence aside, as if it came to you with some sort of intent and you simply said, "Not right now," and set it away.
Okay. All right.
You all see Exterminator's aura, that patterned aura, flare up briefly, and it becomes noticeably visible.
You all right there, Exterminator? You got that weird thing about you suddenly.
I think he's having hot flashes.
I ain't that old.
How are you feeling,
Yeah.
man?
I'm feeling fine.
Oh, 09, you okay? You don't look very aura-ish.
I have no idea. I am fine.
Okay.
Would you like me to run a self-diagnostic?
Yes,
We are fine.
we are fine.
We?
Quinn is not attempting any sort of long-term connection. He is staying within parameters and not violating his selected space.
Will and
However,
myself.
I've been double-checking all of our security protocols in the long term, and I will continue to improve them.
Thank you, Will.
Thank you, 09.
All right, so is everybody feeling like 09 should crack that door open just a itty bitty bit?
Yeah,
Well-
let's do this. Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
are we going to address the fact that we're missing a man?
Oh, I'm just, you
Well,
going
yeah,
to
he-
Japan?
There was a
He in the
flash of
bathroom?
pattern.
Yeah,
There
is
was a
he in the
flash
bathroom?
pattern. He
Not scared. Mike?
he
You go into the bathroom, and there's just blood everywhere.
Oh, God.
Floors, walls. You see you see a pile of clothes here and here and here, and give me a perception check.
Oh my god, he shat himself to death. Finally did it.
I rolled a 2 and got a 16.
Those piles of clothes are not only clothes, they are also husked skin.
Oh, I'm going to be sick.
yeah, well,
Oh.
I mean, I had a pretty good look at it, and there was a flash of pattern that
As you
came up.
I'm just going to slowly back out. Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
He's not in a bathroom.
Where is he? Oh,
Helios,
Well-
as you start to vomit or start to throw up,
yeah, I'm dry.
instinctually you glance towards the toilet and then have to leave, because then you really will throw up.
Yeah.
I think that I think it's safe to say that based on the flare up of pattern that I saw, that he has been relocated outside of our ability to get to him right now, and I don't think it's traceable.
What?
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
No, it doesn't. What? He's
Okay, so let's say there was a realm with goblins and gnolls and all them other crazy little things he talked about. And let's just say that a gateway were to open up and swallow him whole briefly. I mean, we don't know where he went, is what it boils down to. He's gone in a puff of pattern.
You guys have seen this happen before? I mean, 09 and I have only known you for a little while now.
So it's more of just understanding the pattern of the magic involved. But
Oh. So you're telling me all the crazy stuff he talks about is potentially a place he's at right now?
well, yeah, I mean, it could be.
Extra sad the cameras aren't on, because I'm sure that would shut up a lot of your viewers like to tease them about that stuff.
Well, no, actually, I prefer them to keep that part up.
Oh.
Crowd interaction is important.
Well, all the better that he did not have to use the cannon this floor, because that's awful. Speaking of awful,
09, you get a notification that the chamber is spinning up a program.
Hmm. A program.
Ooh. 09. I know that look.
It's the same look he's always got.
I know.
It's a blank stare.
It's in the body language.
It's just you're just seeing yourself looking at him.
Quinn.
I mean, that's just your reflection.
Okay. Then
Quinn,
I'm concerned.
what program is starting up right now in the chamber?
Treon 78A. Erion.
PRI.
T is in Timothy.
Oh, that's not what I thought you said. Okay.
Man, I thought
Okay.
for sure he's.
I heard Prion. Like,
I heard peon,
oh,
and I was like, oh man,
Abort
It's-
experiment Treon 78A.
it's
Abort
it's one of the-
attempt.
I thought for sure it was one of them town hall things for Warcraft, where every once in a while the new peon just pops out.
Abort attempt failed.
I can't tell you
Reasoning.
getting all them crystals.
What'd you say, 09?
Reasoning.
Chamber not responsive.
Levi, if I recall, the chamber was also the source of power for the building, right?
And you never turned it off or turned it on. You simply let it divert power
Right.
evenly everywhere.
Right. Reroute power away from chamber.
Quinn rolled a nat 1.
Ooh.
classic.
This
Can I
whole
walk-
floor browns out.
Oh.
Well, all right.
Kick on my infrared eyes.
Slap
This
down the
may
helmet.
require some manual.
Oh shit.
And the
Ready in action.
door pulls itself open and
Fire.
Oh yeah.
We're going full dead space.
Oh yeah, let's do this.
All right.
Wait. Pull in the cloud, convert it into a new weapon, and
Helios.
get ready to fire.
Helios fires first.
22 to hit.
Lands
me.
a great shot. Hits.
Hell yeah.
9 fire damage.
And Dax, go ahead. Exterminator, you do not have a line of sight right now that you can use.
Okay. Digital dice always look crazy. Just throws
Nice.
like 300 dice out.
I turned them off for this one because
All right. So save DC is 15, 16,
DC is
But-
16.
but these are magic
Oh, they're
missiles.
magic missiles, so why is there even a save? I just get
I don't
hit.
know. It just says that on there, so I was just
Okay.
making sure I wrote it correctly. But
'Cause they
each
know
one of
that.
them little bad boys does 3, and there be 3 of them. So
Okay.
that's 9.
Nice.
You shoot off chunks of this, Chris. 09, you're up. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I pulled open a door. I'm going to at least get an attack in. 09, you're right there. And I hit with my wackadoo nonsense tongue.
It's hard to.
12 points of damage
Ew.
to the 09. And then as you see as it lands in you, 09, he's like, and then whips it back out of your chest, disgusted. Oh, it's your turn.
I take a. Well, it doesn't matter how. Yeah, I take a 5-foot step, right?
You can always take a 5-foot
Yep.
step.
Yep. Then I will shoot this man. Because I do not like being licked.
How many licks does it take?
Oh,
There's a
Whoa,
26
it's a
hit.
big
That's
damage.
funny. Oh, it's max damage.
no,
on the
max
roll.
damage.
On the
Okay,
roll,
that's
yeah.
a hit. That's gorgeous.
God.
This is 19 fire.
Damn, you
God.
hit one of those rifles.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Plus
You
11.
sever
Hit.
one arm at the forearm.
Nice.
Exterminator, you're up.
All right.
This is not what I was attempting to do. I apologize.
Let's see, where can I get a good shot? All
I am
right.
still playing.
Surveyor's going to jump up on the
ambient
table
music.
up here,
Nice.
Nice.
leap up here. And
Yeah, you
as
have a
he's
clear line
jumping-
of sight.
Good
Beautiful.
time to kick on the music there.
Oh yeah. Gonna jump, do a leap up to the top, pull in the cloud, coalesces into a new weapon. Haven't tried
Awesome.
this one yet. Let's fire up number 3. And it's gonna bust out the iceberg ice launcher.
Iceberg ice launcher. Does it shoot lettuce?
Oh, man, that's amazing.
Okay.
Romaine.
Oh, 25 to hit.
That's a hit. Bludgeoning
Yeah,
and cold. That's awesome.
Bludgeoning and cold. Yeah.
Good Mr. Freeze gun. I love it.
You guys see as Exterior just puts his hands in position, a gun forms itself out of his nanites, and then all of a sudden you see it frost, and then it makes a and it fires like a heavy chunk of ice at this thing, which shatters in the rib cage and covers its upper half of its face in frost.
Hey, Chris, chill out.
No! Dax!
Whoa, that's a pretty impressive weapon he's got there. Who's going next?
You are.
It's Helios. Hold on.
Snacks
Yep.
is there for Romaine.
Dax runs around, hops up over the table past Exterminator. Excuse me for a minute. Reaches back up and flips the switch back on Helios's weapon. We cast supercharged
amazing.
weapon back on there again. It's live again, Helios. You can fire now.
Okay. Helios, shoot!
All right.
Weapon's hot! Weapon's hot!
Brace me. In this area, it's hard to tell. Actually, am I technically
You're
10
fine.
feet?
You're
I'm
fine.
10
You
feet?
actually
Okay.
have a. Yeah, you are exactly 10 feet away from it, and you currently have, I think, regular cover right now
All right.
because you have a wall to hide behind.
Ah, not as good as a roll that time. Roll a 3.
Shot goes
man.
wide. Shoots at a wall.
I will take my move action though after that to back up. Well, can't win them all. Sorry, buddy.
And Chris is not going to go for 09 because you don't taste right.
Right there.
Oh, Wyatt didn't go last round.
Oh, it's Wyatt's right there. That's right.
Wyatt goes next because he didn't really. You guys were all doing held actions.
Yeah.
It's like surprise round stuff, so he's literally next. All right. He's gonna go for Wyatt because he's right there. Oh,
It's good knowing you,
yeah,
Wyatt.
he hits Wyatt.
Oh shit.
Let's see, he does 9 on that tongue attack. He didn't crit. And now he's gonna vomit at Wyatt.
Oh, that's not the fun one.
And he hits. And does 15 to Wyatt. And I think Wyatt's still up. He is. Wyatt just took a big hit though. Let's see. And Wyatt backs up and falls into the desk. Sprawled over it, trying to wipe the vomit off of him as he starts screaming, afraid. On his turn, we have to roll to see if he is
All right, confusion.
confused.
Oh.
And he fails by 1.
Oh, Wyatt, buddy.
I know. Poor guy. All right, who's still got the confusion rules listed? I think I did okay. I got a 96. I think I get to do what I want. Isn't high good?
Yeah.
Attack the nearest creature, 76 to 100.
Okay, so then that's a toss-up between Exterminator and 09.
1 to
So,
25, yeah.
so I'm going to make 09 as odds, Exterminator's evens. And I got a 4, so
All right.
he's going for you, Exterminator. You see he looks terrified, and he fires off a shot. He's like, "You're not my friend!" And he shoots his tactical pistol and lands a 20. Does that hit?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Hold on, let me check. Yes.
So he's shooting me in melee, right?
Yes, he is. He is.
Can I substitute an attack of opportunity for a takedown?
Sure.
All right.
He does a whopping 3 damage to you.
Assume it'd be like an Oh, wow. I fucking botched.
As you attempt to take down, you fall off the desk in the same space as Wyatt, tumbling over him, and you are prone. Right. 09, you're up.
I do not like this.
Oh man.
Full
Nice.
attack.
Woohoo!
Max damage again
That
for the
is-
first hit.
Nice.
Damn.
First hit is a 17.
Correct.
That one misses. The second one hits.
Fuck off.
Damn, Mrs. EAC.
Fuck off. It's the politest fuck off I've ever heard. So the first shot, though you miss just barely, it burns a hole clean through the wall over here. And the second shot lands in his leg, and he drops to a knee. Exterminator, you're up.
All right.
I dropped him to your height.
That's true.
He's almost prone with you.
And land the ground again.
You should always face your foes, eye to eye. Man to man, they say.
Does it take to stand up? Is it your full action? Is it at half your movement?
I think it's half your movement. But
After movement, I believe.
All right.
Stand up is a move action. It's a full move action, just to stand up.
Full move?
Wow.
A move
Damn.
action to stand up.
Is he in melee with me at this point, or is he like 10 feet away from me there?
He's 10 feet away from you, but that tongue does have reach, so he's technically in melee with you.
Okay. Okay. If I can crawl, right?
Yeah, that's a move action also.
Okay. Well, seeing as Exterminator tries to like lean down onto Wyatt, Wyatt's shoulder obviously gives at some point, making him tumble to the ground. In the tumble, he's going to hit the ground rolling, and he's going to turn his weapon into the sheath armor, and in it he draws the katana blade out in a crescent
Amazing.
arc and slashes across Chris's, I guess, prone body.
Okay,
As
roll
if
it.
he planned it, you know?
Yeah,
This is all intentional.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Give me an athletics, or give me an athletics to see how good this looks.
It's pretty good.
It looks amazing. It looks like you meant to do this. At first it has like a brief, and I mean brief after you get shot by Wyatt, drunken master flavor to it as you seem off balance, but then you dive into a full roll, slamming him to the ground, rolling out of it as the blade comes out.
An 18 to hit?
Is this kinetic?
Check
your swarm
what is this
strike.
considered? What is this thing considered? me check the ability out. Swarm Strike.
18 EAC, goddamn.
It's unarmed strike that deals lethal damage.
If it's an unarmed strike, that's kinetic.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Unless it
yes,
says
connected.
EAC, it probably is automatically KAC.
Okay.
We're both prone. I don't know what
No,
effects that may or
you're
may not
prone.
have.
He's not prone. He's just at a knee.
Oh,
I said
see.
he's almost prone.
I see.
So, you miss as one of his, as part of the bone of his forearm catches the blade and it embeds, and now you're in a weird sword forearm wrestling back and forth. Dax, you're up.
All right. So, Dax reaches back and grabs hold of his high capacity. Oh, wait, what is it again? Let me make sure I read it right.
Is it your battery?
My ultra capacity battery. And you see he begins to pull charge from it, charging up the overheat module on his hand. Because I'm out of spell slots, this is how I get more.
Yeah.
And as he pulls energy from one, you see it flowing through his junk armor into the other hand. Oh wait, Exterminator, you're suddenly on the oh, you're over there with him now, ain't you?
Yeah, I'm very prone over there. Yeah.
That's okay. Exterminator has the same thing Mike does. You can just hit him.
No. I am just effectively a punching bag.
All right, well that's gonna make this a bit harder. Well, all right, we can't do that
Assuming
then.
we're prone.
You are prone, aren't you?
I am prone.
We tried this last time though, didn't we?
Thing.
Suddenly, as you see Dax looming over you with the charging up hand, you start feeling a real familiar moment.
All right, we can't do that one then. Let's see what I can do then. I'll have to fire off another round of magic missiles. Since he's not actually dead this time.
Yeah, I mean, if I was already ready to be finished off, that would be a different story. But
Ah, is that max damage with magic missiles?
Yeah, it's 12.
Oh,
nice.
One
How
off
does
from
this
that.
Chris's story end, Dax?
Nice.
Oh. So, he's, the magic missiles get all fired off and start heading his direction. And instinctively, he uses his big, long, lashy tongue to wrap around him like a frog. And he yanks them into its mouth, and then they all explode.
That's good.
Swallows him up, and his head becomes a fine mist and chunky chunks.
that was disgusting.
Nice shot.
Good one. Oh.
09 quickly runs to this console. As he's running through, he begins to hack from the door.
Gonna run up and quickly check this room here to make sure we're clear, and I want to make a perception check to see if I hear any other creatures kind of coming towards us or moving around.
If it wasn't for that ridiculous screw up on Quinn's behalf, and you can see what he did. He attempted some type of rerouting of power from at least 3 other systems that have been consistently throwing error codes. So there's no way there would have been an ability to reroute power from them. So something in his programming must be degraded for him to make a mistake like that. You immediately take care of it, and the lights all come back on, everybody. It's a very quick fix with your admin. Right.
Nice. Hey, is Wyatt still tripped out, or is he good?
He's better!
Okay. All right.
Oh, that was close.
Chris?
Get back up.
Chris? Are you okay?
And they all look at you, and Purple's like, yeah, should we still stay in here? Should we come with you? Where is it safe?
Not in here.
How long do we have to stay in here? And then Orange is like, it'll be okay. This is the most... Do you feel afraid? And they're looking and they're like actually pausing. No, this is the first time I don't think I do.
Well,
And then Orange is like, we'll follow your lead.
We sending
The
them
first thing I
upstairs.
need to do, guys, there was a protocol that was activated in the chamber.
What?
That doesn't sound good.
The chamber's still downstairs, right?
No, it's on this floor. Speaking of which, do I hear anything else moving around ahead of us with a 24 from this position?
In that position, no, but you now notice there is beyond this wall an increasing hum of multiple machines. Suddenly, well, no, you just notice it now, as if you are now that few of walls between you and some sort of large machinery that would sound like a furnace or sound like the hum of like a server that's particularly loud.
Levi, would
There's
I?
something firing
Go
up
ahead.
over here.
That would be the program. Trion 78A.
You find out that. Go ahead. What do you want
If
to
I am blocked out of the computer side to try to redirect power, I'm gonna run to Helios.
Okay.
So, am I still blocked out? I assume.
Yes, something is keeping the chamber itself seems to be doing its own thing right now.
Hello, friends. If you could please help me as I'm running,
Oh,
What?
yeah, with you.
and I pull out my laser cutter welder and start cutting a hole in this wall.
Okay.
We gotta run over. Are
On
these
the other
doors
side
open?
of these walls are the generators and the capacitors.
And what do you need done to them?
Destroy them. We have to shut them down.
That's easy enough.
Hey, is this door open or locked currently?
It is open.
It is open.
Oh, thanks. I'm gonna fire up my starlight form and we're gonna go check out this room.
All right, in this room, you see this table has multiple notes about test subjects, energy patterns. This is a machine that is logging energy fluctuation. All these things over here to be doing something similar. And this is a bank of monitors that is overlooking the chamber room itself.
Dax would like to first go and look and see what's in the chamber room.
And at this point, I can
Right on.
show you guys stuff.
Dave out here. So everybody.
There's stuff to show us. Ooh.
Oh,
Oh, is there something else down? Oh,
And you can see that inside
Oh crap.
this cage is Spicy Mike unconscious. And that is like a stasis tube thing. And you see it and he are glowing with a faint, luminous, pale mint green. And this thing is suddenly glowing green as well. Give me
How's that?
a perception check. Or in this case, because you guys are actually no, give me a computers check that will be substituting for perception because your perception is based on the manipulation of a monitor.
that's a 24 for Dax.
nice.
Dax, you know that coming through this area appears to be a hazy formation of trees and grass.
He taps on the monitor just to make sure it's not glitching.
It is not glitching. It's as if the energy that's pulsing through that giant chamber next to this giant mound of flesh, and this circle, these yellow circles are actually glass tubes that run vertical almost the entire length of the chamber. And this chamber itself appears to be extremely tall. Like, it goes beyond the floors that are above it. So they weren't part of the floor plan because the chamber was next to it. And so this thing is at least 25 to 30 feet tall, and those glass tubes are that tall, and this central tube is fractured all throughout. And everywhere where there's a fracture, you can see there is flesh that has patched that fracture, and now in the midst of this wall of flesh, which now goes up about 20 feet, like a giant bulbous pulsing scar, and it kind of spills onto the floor, and you see all around the base of it, you can see sacks.
Now, is like this thing here, is this a wall?
Yeah.
So we don't see what's in this area, I assume?
No, you have monitors of light to see what's in there. And that right there is that right there appears to be standalone, separate servers.
Well, okay. Can I tell from the computer that we have here in front of us, do we have the ability to control the chamber from here? Like, is this a control room?
It appears to be a monitoring room, but you do see some controls. But you just don't understand necessarily what you're telling it to do. So what are you looking for? And roll.
I'm going to use computers to see if I can discern what is going on inside the room from the monitors itself.
Okay.
That's 23.
All right. You can tell that the monitors in front of you say it has a successful launch of program Tryon 78A due to unknown energy source.
Unknown energy source.
And then you see conflicting cross-references to other Tryon trials. Tryon being the third phase of test. This one being 78A. And this one is listed in a line graph that shows from all the Tryon trials, it shows the energy source is like maybe a 5. And then once it gets to, and it sometimes fluctuates up to a 10. With this one, 78, it has 100.
Oh. This thing's potent.
And you see that Cradle B is the source.
Cradle B.
What'd you find over there?
So this thing, whatever they found or whatever they're using, this thing's way more potent than what they've normally been using. Now, I think it's caused this whole thing to be a little unstable, but it's... I can't tell what exactly they're doing with it. They got a hell of an energy source in there. This thing could be really dangerous.
Oh, you mean Mike?
Terminator.
Yeah, Mike, that dude's a real good battery over there. Look at him in there. That's why he thinks it's a toilet. He just shat himself in there.
Still an okay idea to blow up the generators then, or?
Well, I wasn't gonna blow it up, but
Yeah, just let me know when I'm through this wall with my cutting torch.
Give me a engineering.
27.
You're through. You have a sizable hole that you or an adult human could get through if they crawl.
Excuse me.
Huh?
Yeah.
Anyone have any high ordnance?
I think I used my last grenade.
I mean, I conjure up something if you need it. What do you need?
I need something highly destructive, please.
Hey, you called the right guy. I will spend... What can I make out of this? I saw grenades down here somewhere. Give me just a second.
It's a big list.
Well,
Yeah.
my concern is we blow this thing up. Are we blowing Mike up in there if he's in there? We got to get him out of there first.
I'm not
Well,
blowing up
Mike's
the
in,
chamber. I'm just taking out the electrical source.
And that won't make anything go unstable and go boom, right?
I cannot guarantee that.
All right. So Dax comes running around the corner, reaches into a compartment on his junk, spends his last second level spell slot to fabricate arms, my new magic hack, by which I pull out a level 4 frag grenade,
Nice.
Very nice.
a 2d6 15-foot explosion,
Nice.
and I hand it to 09.
You didn't know he had grenades, but now you see he reaches into a pocket and all of a sudden, briefly, for a moment, you see a couple parts of the grenade still setting into place. By the time he hands it
Before
to
you
you,
hand
it
me
is a
that,
stable.
can you make a pulse grenade instead instead of
Pulse?
the frag?
Let's see.
Hold on, let me check.
At our level, we got smoke grenades, flash grenades, incendiary grenades, riot grenades, web grenades, foam grenades, screamer grenades, sticky grenade 2, shock grenade 2, frag
Is it-
grenade 2.
Grenades.
Yeah, I don't see anything in there that says pulse.
Okay. Pulse is a level 5.
There's flash. I don't even see it on the list.
I don't
Okay.
either.
If it's level 5, yes, I can make it. I just don't see it on the list on the SRD. So unless you got it from somewhere else.
It's from the Starfinder Armory.
Yeah, it's from an action
39.
book.
If it's from Armory, that's legit.
Okay, no, then yes, I can. If you would rather have one, that's fine.
A Mark 1 was, it's level 5,
Okay.
1d10 electronic, 20 feet, entangle 1 round.
Legit. 09, you are handed a frag grenade. You go, excuse me, could this be a pulse grenade? And then Dex is like, yeah, hold on. And then he grabs it and twists it and pops it open like the box on Hellraiser. And then it resets itself and then reconfigures and he hands it to you again.
I
And on
toss
the
it in the
pin,
hole.
it says Zapco on the pin.
So,
Does entangling.
yeah.
That's cool.
So
That's cool.
constructs and technological subtypes. I know this is technically for hitting creatures, but they're not destroyed, but they become non-functional until restored to 1 or more hit points.
Okay, got it. So
it's
meant
just like
to
an
target
MP.
bots and equipment.
Yeah.
Nice. What's up,
Okay.
Atomic Killer?
Hey.
That guy
Hey,
out.
it's Atomic Killer.
Seen that one in a while.
So
Welcome
I throw
back.
the pulse
Good to see
grenade into the hole.
At this point, you guys see he throws it in, and all of a sudden, and you guys see a brief flash as there's a power blackout in this room. And this whole machinery goes dead. Then you guys over here at the monitors see a bunch of error codes fly up on your screens as it creates a weird cascade. As this thing and this thing and this thing all start trying to compensate for one another, and then they all start working overtime to make up for the missing and failing utterly. As you see, you now have a listing of shieldings powering down.
I don't know if that's a good thing, but we got a shieldings
It
powered
says
down.
Alpha shield powering down, beta shield powering down. And then you see all the lights in here are starting to flicker. However, one thing that stays consistent is Mike's chamber is bright and the glass is bright. You see the Chris's actually start going up to the sacks on the ground and lifting them. Give me a computers check, monitor guys.
Alrighty. That's a 17.
Got an 8.
Exterminator, you do not know what's going on. Dax, you think they're holding fetuses in amniotic sacs.
I don't know if there's any good way to say this, but I think they're how would you say that?
I don't know, what the hell is that thing?
I think they're with child.
Oh.
There appears to be 4 amniotic sacs that are being picked up and being dislodged from the wall of tissue that is bonded with the glass chamber.
Is that a birth chamber?
We knew all the Chris's were coming from somewhere, and I was really hoping we weren't going to find out.
No,
Yeah.
wait.
I think
So-
we gotta unplug Mikey.
Yeah, we do. How do we get in there?
Well, I think it's that other way I was looking down earlier.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably right. But I mean, if we let Mike in there, are we going to have multiple mics soon?
Is this just a solid wall here?
That's a solid wall.
Yeah, guessing.
What's
All right.
this computer with the handprint on it?
That computer manages all the readouts of the cradles. So you see cradle A, B, and C listed, and give me a roll.
Surprisingly good.
Nice. You've managed to deduce a log of the energy listed sources for each cradle. And you see that listed in cradle B is an analysis that says unknown energy shared components to prime signature.
Signature. So this is just a readout. There's nothing on this.
You see the computers working overtime trying to understand and analyze the energy flow that's coming out of that cradle. Oh yeah, Atomic Killer jumping from fantasy to sci-fi is very brain breaky for a DM because I have to get good at plausible technobabble, which is a lot harder than I thought it would be. I even made a technobabble spreadsheet and I realized it was annoyingly vague. So
kind of how it is.
it says shared components to prime signature. I will paraphrase at this point that prime signature has faster reaction time. This energy is less resistant to transfer.
Oh. Anything at this terminal about shutting down the chamber or releasing him, or is this just a readout station?
You do see controls that allow you to theoretically manipulate the cradles.
Hey, 09? I mean, I got kind of lucky figuring this stuff out, but I'm starting to see a lot of big words I would normally have put my mechanic on at this point. You think you could take a look at this? I think we might be able to get Mikey out from this station here, and we better haul ass and get him out of there, right?
Message received, Exterminator.
I will see what I can do. What have you done so far?
Well, I figured out that it is pulling energy from him, I think, and that it's having an easier time doing it than with, I guess, Chris, if that's what this thing is. And I think you might be able to get him out of that cradle. He's in B.
Interesting.
Though if we get him out of that cradle, he's with 3 of those sons of bitches in that room, isn't he? So we should probably be there to help him.
09, you can understand far more of what Helios was reading up. And you get that the energy signature is listing a biological host for this energy. Host is non-responsive, but now you get a blood pressure and echocardiogram. He's alive, but dormant. You also know that the computer is clocking this as the largest energy source and unique to the Prime signature that this facility has processed since its inception. When this place was founded, it was the last time it's processed an energy flow this big.
When looking into the room, there are no doors at all going to this server section from inside the chamber, right?
There are no doors, but you do know there are maintenance hatches because those walls are meant to shield the server from potential leak of energy. So you'd have to go through the floor, through a crawl space to get to the room. You also have the cradle is beginning to go through initiation of extraction.
Shut down extraction protocol.
Dex starts making his way around over where
Extraction
Exterminator
protocol shut down.
We may have an issue getting him out.
Well, looks like we gotta do it manually. So let's lock and load.
I'm way ahead of you.
I have a proposition.
Oh.
Perhaps if you guys go and attempt the front, I will crawl through the maintenance hatch and shut down the servers.
Can you reach it from here?
There may be a lower level, but there would all be maintenance crawl spaces.
Is anybody I trust to do it, it'd be you, 09, if you think so. Yeah, shut that whole thing down.
Sounds like a winning strategy.
We'll get Mike out of there.
I shut down the protocol to extract his something. I don't know what it's extracting from Mike, but
Let's say mojo.
his mojo.
Or spice. Maybe it's just the spice.
It's gonna be at it for a while.
The spice must flow.
Spice and slow.
Oh,
Good
well,
luck, friends.
Good luck to you. I hope you. I've seen enough movies about crawl spaces. I'm glad you're doing it. See ya.
See you
Don't
later,
get down to the
Bishop.
arm.
Do you start
See ya,
working
Bishop.
out, 09, the most efficient way to get to one of these crawl spaces? You know that each of these rooms is connected with conduit and hard lines to the server and to the chamber itself. So each one has its own tiny hatch that allows you to crawl through.
Oh.
Okay,
Cut a
then I
hole
will.
there.
I will run back to here, and if I can't quite squeeze my way through, I will cut just slightly larger hole and start working my
Oh,
way through.
you're skinnier than anybody else, potentially.
Probably
Right.
weirdly
And technically,
bendy.
I don't have any. I have joints that can essentially maneuver to any
And
position.
anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Every part of you is a ball and socket joint.
Oh yeah.
If 09 wanted to be horrific in his movement, he could be. All right, you transform your way into the hole, and you find the hatch. So you can start moving at half movement.
I just treat it as difficult terrain. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
All right, boys. Let's keep them in a line. Just have
All right.
like this weird, crazy, wide front-ended laser rifle, essentially.
All of those doors are busted open, by the way, guys.
There's no
There's
doors
nothing there.
technically.
Yeah, all these walls are just like
Yeah, blasted through.
nemesis through.
And so we pull him back to this back here.
All right. See if we got something I can do to lure him out.
So I got a flash grenade handy. We can keep him in the hall. I got something special for him.
See what's my range on this.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything that's going to be useful other than,
Thanks, Atomic.
the usual things.
But here, hold this. Give you the flash grenade.
All right.
Give you something to do. So
These are all-
they're gonna run up on us. Like, is it a zigzag like we're seeing here with the blood trail, or is it a
Yeah, it's
straight
like a
line?
zigzag because the walls are designed for the doors to not be in a straight line.
All right.
All right. So, do you just need one of us to bravely walk up there and open this thing up? Because, I'll do it.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yep. Where's the fallback point?
I'm saying we fall back into this hall here. My gun could fill the whole damn thing up.
All right, I'll back you up.
All right. So, from this door, Dax sees the two main doors to the main chamber.
Yeah.
Is there like a control pad that opens it, or is it like...
Is it all busted open?
Yeah, because I don't know how that thing that came crawling out, if it came out of there, what it did on the way out.
Oh, yeah.
These doors
these-
are destroyed as well.
Okay.
They're forced open.
So it's already open?
Yep.
So Dax sneaks up there to the edge and looks around the corner, sees what he can see.
I'm right here.
You see that the Chris's are gathering up sacks and dislodging large chunks of mass from the larger wall that are connected to umbilicals.
Shit. Well, Helios,
I'm ready to kick this off if you are, and I'm going to start.
I got my catch capacitor ready to go in this flashbang here that X gave me.
All right.
So it may be time for a little high ordnance.
I'm going to ready up a spell as well. Wait for him to throw the flashbang.
All right, Dax is going to turn and he will lob that thing into the hole.
And as he does that, we're going to Captain America shield this thing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pull up a solar shield and hurl that force disc right into the room to ricochet it around in there.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
The first one
So
is
that hit
a
22.
PAC of 22
Nice.
on the first.
Beautiful. That hits.
My
Right.
throw is a +3. My base attack bonus is what? Character level.
I think it's +7 to these. So that first one took only 6 force damage, so not that great. It's a blue.
So 3 every 4. So I'm up. 3.
Yes!
You get him?
Natural 20 on the next guy.
That's awesome.
So green, I think he takes less damage. He doesn't take the full 3d6. He only takes 2d6, so that becomes
So roll 46. Well, no, 2d6 times 2.
Oh, 2d6 times 2, all right.
Okay. I got a 24 on the flash grenade lob.
Beautiful. That's a hit.
Very nice.
So
8
I don't know
force
what that-
damage to green. Goes to, how many guys do I
That's with the double for the crit.
Yeah, I rolled 2 double 2s.
Boo.
Yeah, not the best. And then what do I get on the last guy? Not great. That's only a total of a 10 to hit red.
That one misses.
And then technically,
No, we looked it up. It cannot hit the same guy again.
yeah, but what if I wanted to hit some of these weird ass,
Okay.
some
Yeah.
of the larger
Bluffs.
fetuses?
Edicii, I believe. is
Fetusi?
technical.
All right. How many can I go up to? I think I can go up to 5 targets, so I've already hit 3. So I'll try to hit the 2 largest sacks. Not great. That's a 9 EAC for the first sack.
That's a hit.
All right, and then the next one definitely hits at a 19 EAC for the second sack.
That's a hit too.
So first sack takes 4 force damage.
Yeah, it pops open and shreds through, and horribleness spills forth out of the hands of a Chris.
And the last one takes 8 force damage.
And it is liquefied with the force of a... I don't know, with the force of like a guillotine blade going through a bag of ketchup.
And, oh my god.
Back up.
Then I freaking run. That's haul.
And then you hear screams from in there.
Oh god, run.
It's not like the same aggression you heard before. Now it sounds like loss.
Yikes. Run, Dax.
All right, and now Dax, you're still watching. This Chris sets down. No, this Chris had it's killed in its hands, and so it drops forward. And then you see it make its own blood eagle and pop its back rib open.
Ugh.
As
Yeah, you don't want
this
that.
one dives onto it, and then
no.
this one dives onto it.
Oh no.
Well, so much for AoE.
I'm glad I used my AoE to start. Hopefully that reduced its max HP a little. Not that great
And then
roll.
they meld together
Oh god.
into a new multi-Chris.
I don't like that thing.
Ah, son of a
This
bitch.
takes this whole turn for this to occur, and that's their
God.
whole action.
Do we have new initiatives now or same?
We can roll new initiatives if you guys want to. We haven't done that in a while.
That was
so-
kind of the surprise round.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll wipe everybody.
All right,
Alright.
take your token.
Here we
Pick your
go.
token, find initiative on the thing.
Remind Clint too when he comes back to this.
Ooh, wedding dice for the win.
I don't like the
15.
sound of that.
Deadly. Doing all right. Thank you, initiative.
Got an 18 on the die.
Wish they were all separate just for one round. I was like, I finally got something to AoE.
You can AoE him.
You're gonna come up with us.
I should have. I was excited about my wide beam that was going to fill 10 feet wide.
Thanks, Atomic. This is. I don't module anything. I make it all. Yeah. There you go. I make everything. But we are Starfinder. We're running off Starfinder rules. We only mildly modded them in that I personally don't. I'm in love with legendary actions for action economy purpose. It actually makes bosses scary a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, it
And
does.
I don't love that Paizo hasn't embraced something like that yet. So,
Totally fine with you using them. I like legendary.
but
actions a lot.
Starfinder is pretty awesome so far. The guys really like it, and it's a really good palate cleanser for all of us. So, all right. So
Nice change
I'm gonna
of
go
pace.
first. It comes barreling down the hallway towards Dax,
Oh shit.
and it's gonna take 2 swipes of Dax.
Well, it's got to deal with my Kasathan battle dance.
That's right, it does. It better. All right, I probably hit with a ridiculous hit of 25, and then a
Oh.
17. Did the 17 hit you?
Yeah, because it's not an opportunity attack, so yeah.
Okay. Then I do 8 points of damage, and another 8 points of damage.
Did he pass the blind from the flash grenade?
Ooh,
Oh, I didn't even roll for that. I'm sorry. My bad.
It's
yeah, what's
DC Flash Blind is 11 for main ability stat bonus. Jeff says blind for 1d4 rounds.
So it's a DC 11 plus whatever your stat bonus is. It's like your dex bonus.
For me,
Yeah, or your intelligence. Or
so
whatever.
3, so that would be a 14 for the.
He beat it on a die roll of 17 before bonus is added.
Okay, so the Flash didn't do anything to him. So yeah, then he hits me.
Okay. Then I do 8 and 8. And Exterminator, you are up.
You lose stamina first, right?
Oh, actually, no.
Two.
I didn't do this in descending order.
Oh, yeah, so technically-
That's not correct. So it's Helios, you're up.
Okay, we'll have to remember to add.
This thing comes barreling down the hallway and slashes at Dax twice. It's not standing up on 2 legs, it's crawling on 5.
Ugh.
Ugh.
So running down this hallway to get back to Exterminator as was the plan. Are only the doors bursted open, or like the walls?
Yes.
Bursted? Like what are my
you
lines?
have to. Yes, the doors are burst open.
All right,
And the
so-
wall is warped there, but the walls are more solid.
Okay, so all I'm hearing is awfulness behind me, and Dax is with me, so I guess I'm 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Yeah, you threw that shield and fucked off,
fucking
and
ran.
now
I
you're
did.
hearing like horrible noises behind you.
So I'll just full action double move during like behind him. It's like, oh, it's sounding a lot bigger than it was.
09, roll for initiative.
Oh shit.
Oh, that gets me to here with a double move.
Oh no, that looks
Oh
terrible.
no, indeed.
What did you do?
The wrong thing apparently.
Started off well.
They coming? Question mark.
Who are you
Yeah.
talking to?
It's sounding bad back there, and I don't know where Dax. Well, he was right behind me.
Ah shit. Dax.
09, go ahead and roll
Roll for. I'm sorry.
initiative, so at least I know you're on the initiative order.
Look at that exact
Look at
tie.
that.
Whoa,
That is amazing.
that's a little creepy.
Pull off.
All right, Exterminator, who's got the higher intelligence bonus?
Intelligence bonus? I got a 2.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming he'll have that.
I have
Yeah,
an
okay.
18 intelligence.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
so
I mean, I have a 14 intelligence,
Helios,
but yeah.
you've gone. Exterminator, you're up.
All right.
Or no, it should be 09.
09 can move at 15 feet.
Wow.
Let me mark the hatch for you, 09.
Oh, okay. And can you show me the hatch where I'm starting from?
And then for poops and giggles, I'll give you the other hatches as well.
Okay.
That's 15 feet with a full movement, or 15
That's 15 feet with a full movement.
All right,
Half movement, right?
Exterminator.
You don't get a double
All right.
move, do you?
You can double move. If you take a full round
You
action.
can double move.
Okay. So I can get 30 then.
Yeah, you can.
It's always poops and giggles. my
God, it's
friend.
that really like unnatural like machine like robot crawl. Like he's just like really efficiently.
Yeah, he's
crawling.
extremely.
On my fingers and my toes, just
Oh, fingers and toes. Oh god. You know what he looks like? You know what he looks like that bit in when the agents walk in and Ghost in the Shell, and the one puts his hands on the keyboard, and then the fingers split
Yeah.
into extra digits to be able to type quicker.
Oh man.
It's like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Like 09's whole body is totally rigid except for fingies and toesies.
Super flexible fingers.
So gross. All right.
Well, the plan was for me to wait for everyone to clear and then
Well,
blast
hold
what comes
on,
after.
Exterminator. Go ahead and roll your special number.
Ooh. How about a 20?
Okay. I need everybody to kill sound, except for just Pan.
I'm gonna use this chance to go get a snack.
Oh, okay.
Super secret stuff happening.
Yeah, it is super secret. In this tense moment, you're breathing, you're trying to case what's going on, and you can feel where Mike is. And you can feel that she's going to help you. Yes, it's a her. And she'll guide you because Mike cannot be lost, and not in this way. You can choose to swap places with Mike if you want to.
Just swap out Spicy. I think from a tactical standpoint, it's a terrible idea. But I think from a Dale standpoint, he'd be like, oh, okay. Just fucking go for it. So I think that's what I have to do. Right?
How about that for timing?
That was pretty good.
All right, Helios, you suddenly see the swirly aura of all those like yin-yang figure eight-ish patterns, those S swirls, immediately pulse up, and Exterminator vanishes, and Mike's body appears.
Void holes suck.
Okay, what is my situation here? My
Also, Mike is naked.
Of course he is.
Oh! Go!
Magnificent.
I throw open my mouth a little.
He is very hirsute.
There wasn't like liquid in that chamber. He's not also slimy, is he? He's not naked and slimy, right?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. It's like Danny DeVito coming out of the couch and It's Always Sunny.
Oh.
He is coated in a gel.
Oh, no.
For sure.
Amazing.
I'm just gonna
Exterminator.
flick a mega vitamin onto his body.
Exterminator. A couple things happen simultaneously. Give me a quick athletics.
Got it. 18.
Plan to
Okay.
never survive contact with the enemy.
Immediately, you shunt into a space that is. You feel a gel pulse around you, and instinctively you try and stand up to retain balance.
Mm-hmm.
And your shoulder slams open this cradle. So you're
Nice.
now kneeling in this cradle, about knee deep in a gel. And you see all along the line of the interior of this cradle, various tubes and syringes. They are retracted.
Okay. What is still in the chamber at this point?
A wall of flesh that is
Fleshy bits.
that is pulsing. It is about 25 feet up, and you can see the tail end of Multi-Chris 2, more Chris, more Multi, coming down the hallway towards something else. That sounds like a friend.
Your time has come, Chris. Your executioner is here.
Give me a perception check. This is the first time any of you have actually been in the chamber. Give me a perception check.
Okay. 19.
Okay. You didn't notice it at first because there's so much going on in this chamber. Each of these glass tubes is full of a light. In this case, it is now, as you've entered, glowing down from green. It was bright green, and now it's like not as vibrant as it was. It's like somebody dimmed it ever so slightly. And actually, it's like a laptop on low battery.
Okay.
That's purposely conserving energy now. And looking up here at about maybe 10 feet up from the floor, surrounded in the most uncomfortable donut hole, you see a corpse, Chris.
Corpse Chris. Okay.
You see a single dead Chris that is definitely necrotic.
Like a person Chris or like a monstrous
No,
Chris?
a person Chris that is necrotic, and it has broken glass embedded like it was forcefully thrown.
Okay. And it's up where the pussy, grossy...
Oh, it's
is?
10 feet. It's 10 feet up in it, but this thing stretches up 25 feet.
Okay.
Growing out from him in any direction where there is cracked glass that could breach the chamber.
Okay. Well...
It's like a giant contractor took great stuff, flesh tone colored, and decided to seal every crack of this glass.
Okay. Well, I think...
Uncomfortable donut hole.
Yes. It's the best, isn't it? All
We
right.
love a good butt.
So, Dale, aka the Exterminator, jumps up on top of this piece here, I think. 1, 2,
That's Cradle A,
6,
yes.
7, 8. That's too far. Be closer.
Oh, sweet. You got out of the cradle. Fuck yes.
That
You
goes straight
cannot
up.
stand. That's a solid glass tube, so you cannot be there.
A solid glass tube.
It goes all the way to the ceiling.
Well, then I
All
will
these yellow things are glass tubes that go all the way up.
Well, okay. That changes my situation greatly.
Right, so you don't have line of sight straight down at all.
No, I don't. That's terrible.
You'd have to come over here.
Yep. Well, I feel like that gives me some options here to parkour up these tubes and yank the Chris out.
You're going to remove the
Unplugging the
Corpus
machine.
Chris?
Yeah, the Corpus
Corpus
Christi.
Christ!
Yes.
Corpus Christ! Oh.
So the Exterminator is going to jump up and see about ripping down this Chris.
Okay. Give me an athletics.
All right. 15.
You don't get up high enough. You are partially climbed up the gross. Your hands are embedded deep in it, and you can feel the whole thing has a discernible pulse. And you are close enough to see the Chris that is buried inside still has on a jumpsuit. And
Has a jumpsuit on? Okay.
yeah.
Can I take a shot?
You just tried to parkour between 3 glass tubes and climb up a wall of flesh after teleporting into a room. You're done. Okay, Dax.
Okay.
Worth a shot.
All right. And from my vantage point, I can't see none of that going on in there, and I have no idea.
This horrible thing is coming at you.
All right. Well. Shoot. Well, I guess.
I got air lasers, like, leave him to die if that is an option.
Yep.
My catch capacitor has 1 spell left in it because it holds 1. And I already did my jolting spell, so
You got this, wizard. You got this. I believe in you, wizard.
yeah.
That wizard came from the moon.
He's a moon wizard.
He's a moon wizard.
Everybody knows space wizards are scary. You got this.
So Dax uses his Kasatha battle dance.
Yeah, he does.
To retreat this direction away from it.
Nice.
1, 2, and as
Does
he
that allow you
does,
to avoid attacks of opportunity or provide a bonus to them.
it allows me to avoid attack of opportunity
Nice!
as I withdraw.
Okay. You go into a Kasathan battle stance. Looks like somebody practicing Tai Chi suddenly also got very good at tumbling. So you move like water, doing cartwheels and aerials, finding openings where no openings exist.
Now, just to be fair, Dax, when he learned the Kasathan battle stance,
Yes.
remember, Kasathans have 4 arms.
Yes, they do.
Dax looks as though he's just giving all the Chris's high fives, like he's walking along and fans are giving him high fives the whole time, because that's what it looks like to him. He learned it as a way to more effectively give all of his fans high fives as he runs past. So he's just walking along, just doing high five motions at him. And then at the very end, as he's running away, because I have agile casting, I will launch overheat behind me
Yeah, you will.
from my catch capacitor, and then I am out of spell slots until we rest. So
Good times.
this is all there is. There ain't no more. But at least I don't have to worry about it not hitting. I just have to get him to... Did it roll? There we go. So it'll be 6 fire damage, DC of 16 to save for half.
He fails. You rolled a 3.
Yeah.
So that was some piss poor rolling for damage, but six fire damage will do.
Yeah. Do all the fire.
I can't
on,
find the
flame.
thing. I can't find the thing to target it with though.
Yoga flame.
You gotta click on the actual
Oh, there it is.
token thing. Yeah!
Ah.
Oh, now that rolled 12 damage, bastard.
All right, multi Chris
Oh, hold on.
comes
that was
out of
not-
his
Probably
1, 2,
move,
3,
yeah.
4,
Fire.
5, 6. I'm right there. It's just as fast as I am.
Wait.
Gotta
Wait,
double
hold on.
move, man.
Wait.
I had to fire at it. Is the only spell I got.
Hold on. Okay. It looks like it's gonna come after you, and then it turns and heads back into the room.
Uh-oh.
Wait. That's not supposed to happen.
And it goes swiping at you. You, however, though you're halfway up this thing,
Oh, to me. Okay.
coming for you, Exterminator.
You went for the baby daddy.
I got some cover.
Exterminator.
Pretty
You do have
convinced of
cover.
that.
Yeah, because you're like
My God.
kind of between glass tubes right now.
Oh, there's all these
I'm gonna
hands
give
reaching
you
at
regular
through the
cover. So you have regular cover. You have an additional +4 to AC right now.
Okay.
So it comes in there, and it's gonna make.
Flatten yourself up against the glass so it just...
God damn it! Okay, here we go. Does a 16 hit?
It misses.
How about a 17?
That also misses.
How about a natural 1?
Oh,
I would claim that would miss. Nice.
So as you go in there, you suddenly hear, and then slamming around, slamming up against. Oh 9! You hear above you a thunderous racket of something really heavy. Is maybe 7 inches of steel between you and it. So it would be. You have to adjust the decibel levels of your audio inputs, so you don't suffer damage. Good thing you can do that. These poor human friends of yours would have a hard time.
Suckers.
And then the entire cradle above you gets slammed off of its moorings up against the wall, and then all the glass gets scraped as 3 arms shoot in there trying to get at you. And now it's Helios' turn.
all right. We're gonna double move and haul ass back the other direction, flicking a mega vitamin onto Mike's slimy naked body as I run by. It's like, Dax, there's a naked Mike back there, and Exterminator's gone.
What?
Yeah, he's just poofed like Mike did. He did it just like Mike.
Damn goblins.
Just like Mike.
Wanted to be like Mike.
I hear he likes it.
Well,
He likes it. He really likes it.
I look at Helios and I said, "There's another Mega Chris that direction."
Yeah, it sounded bad. Oh, shit. Alright, that's my turn.
Okay.
Double move. I had to run 60 feet.
09.
I'm out of breath.
I assume I have to go around these tubes, correct?
You're still under the floor.
Right.
Right?
I didn't know if these tubes went through the floor or not.
Yeah. These access tubes run through the floor underneath walls and stuff.
Talking about these yellow and red tubes, or yellow tubes covered in blood.
No,
These.
they do not go through the floor.
Okay.
This level is the bottom of them. And in fact, when you do get to them, you can see a number of tubes, wires, conduit, and gear running into them. Especially that central one. That central one looks like you're at the. It's as if you were at the bottom of a banyan tree.
Oh, I can go under
Except
that
all
even?
metal. You have to go around the center one for sure.
Okay, I was just making sure. That's what I did, but that is my move.
Exterminator.
Alright. Well, since I'm climbing and I have Chris bearing down on me here,
Yes.
I'm going to reintegrate my gun,
Okay.
form into the sheath over my body,
Okay.
which augments my stats, makes me more lithe and maneuverable.
It does?
Yeah,
That is some bullshit, but okay.
increases my reflex,
This all
boosts my
smells like
acrobatics
a
and stuff.
ninja trick to me.
Nanites
I don't
are
make the
ninja
rules.
tricks.
More life.
Mixed in with a bit of fulcrum.
This is nano tricks. Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna make my way up. Let's see, I don't know why it's got a 0.25 on the end of this, but 24.
Fuck. Okay, yeah.
Getting up there.
You shove up, and between using the glass wall and the flesh, you climb up. You are at the Chris.
All right, now that I'm at the Chris, I'm gonna reach over, grab him. It's Christmas time. Pull him off.
You yank him out, and as you apply pressure and pull him out, you only feel a vague resistance like a vacuum behind him. But he is rigor mortised, and at the same time, heavily tissue damaged, and there's no strength to this. So it resists you for a brief moment, and you pull out the corpse. It is mostly a torso that has growing out of it what appears to be an area where necrotic flesh meets living flesh. It's as if his arms and legs were something else. And then as you remove it, this thing starts to gout, blood welling up in the area you're in, and you start getting a wash as this thing is bleeding out. And you start to see the upper halves of it shriveling. And then Multi-Chris screams.
It's deflating!
Dax, you're up.
Shit. Hearing Exterminator's voice now emanate from the chamber room,
Yep.
Dax turns with Helios 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right back to where he was. And I guess I will double move because I got nothing better to do.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I will take a position behind one of these tall chamber tube things so I can see kind of what's going on in the room.
Okay.
And then next round I'll make an assessment of what I'm going to do about it.
You have a partial cover right now, +2.
That's good. I'll need every bit of it, I think.
And Multi-Chris, you're a bad man, Exterminator. You're trying to exterminate, and that is not okay.
Sorry,
I'm
man,
gonna
it's my
take a
job.
Full
That's what I
attack
do.
action. That's what I do, man. Okay, you still have your cover, so hang on to that.
I hope it holds.
Does an 18 hit?
Is that including the cover bonus?
I'm just doing my attack rolls, and you have a +4 to your armor class because of your cover.
Then it does not hit.
Okay, so then that doesn't hit, and I'm pretty sure these two will hit you. So
I have a 22 right now.
yeah, okay. So I miss with 3 attacks and hit with 2.
God, that's a lot of attacks.
So going through glass, and all of a sudden 2 plunge through,
That was a lot of attacks.
and I do 10 damage and 14 damage.
10 and 14. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm going to spend my remaining 2 nanite surges to reduce those damages. So you said it was 10 and 14, so that reduces by 8 and 8, so 16. Okay. So I eat a total of 8 damage. I'm okay.
Helios, you're up.
All right. Like running the old obstacle course back in training camp. I'm gonna run through the rest of this hallway, zigzagging back to here, and I assume I don't have any clear line of sight.
You do not see the awfulness.
So-
Well, from here you can kind of see some of the flesh on the central glass tube,
Okay.
and you can see it is starting to bleed profusely.
Here's a question: would you allow me to make a perception check to see if I could get a reflection of the multi-Chris to fire off a magic missile?
Yeah, that's
Nice.
cool.
I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, that's great.
Natural 20 on the perception check. So this is not a full round, so it's only going to be 2 shooting stars, but I'm going to fire off 2 around the corner. And so that's 5 and 5.
Nice.
Nice,
10 force damage.
nice. So from around the corner, Exterminator, you see at your level 2 missiles fly into it, 2 shooting stars fly into the head area of Multi-Chris. It happens like
What
right
I'm
next to you.
talking About.
All right. That's my round.
09, you're up.
Creepy crawly. Wonderful. I am here with 5 feet of movement left to spare.
Yeah,
I stand
there's
up.
access panels.
Hell yes.
Nice.
There's access panels right there for you to pull out,
Hack
and you can
Planet.
hack the planet. Hack the planet. Okay.
That is
What do
it.
you do,
Okay.
09?
No, I'm sorry. That was a double move.
Oh, right. Sorry. I thought you said you had 5 more feet of. Oh, that was a double move. Sorry. Exterminator, you're up.
All right. Exterminator braces his feet, wedges his back against the wall,
Yes.
and forms the saber.
So you're gonna
Chris.
let me get this. Let me get this straight. You're gonna swing a sword while you stripper pole hang on to these glass tubes, like
I'm sitting
50
like-
feet off the ground.
You know, like how Jean-Claude Van Damme always does his things?
Oh, yeah, you're like
doing the
split, like-
split. You're doing the
Like,
split. You gotta-
Like
Okay.
Ultimate Ninja Warrior, where you have to get up the top there. You're just, and thank you for making the most anime character I've ever seen you make.
Dax, Dax, through some of the glass, you vaguely see Exterminator do something that is so goddamn camera worthy, and you are not rolling. Okay, roll for it. Exterminator, go.
All right.
You gotta demand
do
a
a full
bonus for
attack
the
on this.
lost footage
Yeah.
on this op.
Well,
First one's a miss. I think the second one's a miss too.
it seemed a lot cooler in my head.
You are shing shing. These damn glass tubes.
Ugh.
Dax, you're up.
Dex gets onto his personal comm. 09, do you read me?
Yes.
I need you to download the video feed footage from the chamber. We're gonna need this for some lost footage later on for a season finale.
Disclose
Is this going to be
location.
our bloopers roll?
Yeah, sure. That's my free social. And
I can
then,
assist with that, 09. Would you like me to?
Technically, Will's already in the computer because I had him.
I'm already in the computer.
I wanted him to download. Remember the first game when I got the two nat 20s?
Oh,
I
yeah.
put him in the computer to completely download everything.
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 To absorb knowledge.
We
He's
are
already getting it,
taking.
technically.
So we already have. We'll already have the feed. We'll have it.
okay, well, Dax didn't realize that's all going on, so he just asked for it politely. Is this big creature hanging onto the main tube to get up there to Exterminator, or is
No,
he
it's
just
tall
standing there?
enough to just hit at him.
Okay.
So Exterminator's climbed up, and he's now head level with Multi-Chris.
And which two tubes is Exterminator straddling?
He is.
Is it the small one?
Between the small one and the middle one, and he's doing the perfect split.
Okay.
He is kumateing this. He is blood sporting it.
Just doing a ton of coke.
Just shaking your fist. Kumate! Kumate!
Ugh.
Okay, I was gonna try something, but I don't know if that's gonna work. Now I guess it's technically gotta be 2 batteries. Alright. Dax, just from where I'm at, for a quick perception check, can I get a good look at this energy source in this main chamber?
Yes.
You said I saw trees coming out of it?
Yes, it's harder to. It's faded down, but you can clearly see through a green haze.
Not greatly.
Nope. You see green haze.
Green haze in there, huh?
Mint green and getting paler.
It's definitely not a Jimi Hendrix song.
Alright, well, I guess I'll just have to take a guess at this. Since this thing's already cracked, shattered, and the skin on it's all bleeding, I think I'm going to use Ghost Sound, a cantrip, to create a high frequency pitch noise that will shatter the rest of the glass.
Oh, nice.
What? Debbie
Give
Snacks, what did
me-
you do? Oh, yes you do. It's a good one. You
Nice.
should definitely do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just to
Okay.
find a frequency that will make the glass just
Give me,
shatter the rest of the way over.
What are the 2 science skills? Life sciences, natural sciences?
Physical science is probably the
It's
one.
a physical sciences roll for sure.
Get it?
That's a 21.
Ooh, nice.
All of a sudden, guys, you hear a very loud, extremely high-pitched whine, and all of a sudden you start to see the glass around the main chamber fracturing beyond what the flesh can patch or grow. And now you start to see some of it dislodging as fragments are starting to come loose.
And I'm just gonna hunker down behind that other glass tube.
Okay. Multi-Chris is gonna kill you, Exterminator, if it's the
Yeah.
last thing I do. Your stupid cover. Okay. I got this one. Let's see. There's a 20 hit.
It misses. I'm gonna say the Exterminator does a backbend from his posture. He goes
Okay.
flat and then comes back up like nothing happened.
Okay.
Did he just like matrixed in the middle of
Yeah.
The
the splits?
first arm missed. The other 4 hit,
Oh shit.
Jeez.
and one of which, I'm sorry, is my
'cause I
first
styled on
nat
him.
20.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Hey, there's something else that happens with my class here. I want you to roll percentile.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I got a 59.
Well, okay, it's still a crit.
Yo, you can negate crits?
Yeah, I got a 10% chance.
That's awesome. Oh, fuck. Okay, well, congrats. My nat 20 was a 1 on the die for damage.
Yes.
So that is a
lucky.
whopping 8 damage on the crit.
Roll that one. Really
However, now you're going to suffer a bleed of 1 and a bleed of 1.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
That's not fair. That's
How
just
the
not
guy
fair.
share that
To
bleed?
give me a crit on a player and then I'm rolling minimal. All right.
I think it's
so-
totally legit, you know?
Yeah, of course you would. So,
Feels
the next
nice.
So the next 3 hits are, in order, a 9er.
Are you using multi-attack to do all the attacks, Levi?
Yeah.
Are you imposing the -6 penalty that you have for multi-attacking?
-4.
I don't need that because I have multiple brains inside this body.
On this first hit I receive, I'm going to activate Nanite Integration. So I'm spending
Okay.
a Resolve, and that's going to give me Fast Healing 1.
Okay? So I
Multi-attack
did...
specifically is a -6, Tim. Full attack is a -4.
Oh, well, how's multi-attack? What's multi-attack?
You basically
Different
have
type
as
of
many
roll?
attacks as the creature has listed limbs.
Oh, cool.
So you could do
So-
like 7 attacks, but they're all at a -6.
-6.
Yeah.
I have... I did a total of 9, then 10, then 7.
That's 17. Ugh. That didn't feel good.
Helios, you're up.
All right, we gotta drop this bitch. I'm gonna go right here to get a little bit of cover from around this corner, and we're gonna dump my final 2nd level spell, and we're gonna try and make this guy want to take a nap.
Oh man.
Oh, and I roll real good on
God.
the damage again. So DC 17 will save.
DC 17 will save.
That's a goodie.
That's that. Fail.
Sweet. So he takes the full 24 damage, which
Fucking hell yeah.
doesn't specify a type. It entropy.
Psychic, I think.
It's psychic.
Probably
'cause
psychic,
it's,
right,
That's a
'cause it's
mind
mind.
force.
Because this is the mind thing.
That makes the most sense. And he is now fatigued, which I just had that pulled up, and of course I went off of it. But it's a -1 to most everything.
-1 AC
yeah.
attack rolls, melee damage rolls, thrown weapons rolls, and adds strength
Nice.
damage. Reflex
So, yeah.
saving rolls, initiative checks, strength and dex-based skill and ability checks.
Pretty much anything you're going to do in combat.
Everything is a
AC.
-1.
AC attack and importantly melee damage from here on out.
Yeah.
That is my final 2nd level. That was all those spent. I only-
The whole thing wavers on its balance and almost falls back on Cradle C.
Go to sleep, Chris.
09.
Okay, I'm gonna, I guess, quickly attempt a hack check on the server here. Let's see. Oh! Ah!
Jesus.
Saiyan.
It is Super Saiyan. Okay, even if I did make it a difficult DC, you still blew it out of the water. So,
So what I want to
You-
do, as
Yeah.
soon as I get access to the server, I want to open pod 3 as he's leaning against it so that he falls inside, and then I'm going to close pod 3.
Nice.
okay. Okay. Okay.
All right. Interesting.
Oh, I love it.
Okay. He fails his reflex save. Let me see here.
He's got
Yes.
-1 to that, yeah.
He fails. And, well, he already had disadvantage 2 for another reason entirely. So he falls into pod C and
Oh, thank God.
I have
Oh,
control.
that's a good thing. Nice 109.
That was close, fellas. Initiating
Man.
shutdown procedure now.
Let's see. I'm gonna do this because you guys have him in a jar.
Nice.
Nice.
Is anything happening battery wise, like was doing with Mike?
You see he starts releasing suddenly the energy field changes color to a faint pink color, and the level readout is far lower than Mike.
Okay.
You got the level readout 09 on your end. You're actually seeing the numbers have dropped back down to a 10.
And Mike was 100, right? Is that what you said?
Mike was 100.
Damn.
Well, Mike, the scale capped at 100.
Right.
So he could be more than.
Right.
So you initiate shutdown procedure, and for the first time, the chamber is responding to you. And you're getting all kinds of questions you're just ticking off, like recontain. You have a request to reacquire unknown energy source. Code serial 78A. And now it is logging 79A right now.
All right. Just so in case timing matters, I'm swapping out my sheath armor for the cloud array, starting up regeneration.
The Multicris is trying to bat its way out of this cage thing.
I assume there is life support inside that cage. It is sealed entirely?
Yes. But you also know that Cradle 3 was recently breached.
Oh. So it's
Sorry,
not
Cradle
good
2
seal.
was breached. Cradle B was breached. He is in Cradle C.
Right. So is
So-
Cradle C intact?
Cradle C is intact,
Okay.
but it is starting to throw up error codes as it's slamming its many fists against it.
I quickly reverse the oxygen pumps to instead act as a vacuum generator.
Nice.
And I'm going to slowly pull all of the pressure and make a vacuum inside here to crush him.
With that, go ahead and roll. Let's see, 5d10.
Oh, nice.
That is the
That is
worst
nice, I was
5d10
hoping.
I've ever rolled. Lol.
And it passes out from lack of oxygen.
Nice.
Nice.
And slowly you guys see its body start to crush in on itself.
You may want to turn your
all
eyes.
the veins pop up and swell as the rest of the thing starts to pull in. A la
Imagine
Deadpool.
that looks disgusting. I apologize.
Whew, man, that was awful.
At this point, the wall of nasty just like reduces and withers and just detaches and dies all at once. And the chamber finally powers down. 09, you can see in these logs, this chamber has been running the entire time the facility's been in operation. It's never shut down.
Dax, now that we're out of combat, Dax gonna go over and remove a piece of the shattered glass.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to try to reach in there and see if he can get hold of whatever this plant thing is. He wants to take a closer look at whatever it is that's...
Okay. You're at the glass. That is starting to fade. This is before the energy changes color. So in this moment, go ahead and give me... you reach through and you manage to get a wisp and give me an Arcana.
Mysticism.
Yeah, mysticism.
I don't like that you smiled when he said that.
19.
Okay. For a brief moment, what you're grabbing feels only partially there. And as you pull it, suddenly it has an intense inertial weight. Like it does not want to leave. And then as you guys see Dax reaching in and just pulling it missed, for a hard moment, it appears as if his hand from here on is stuck in force that fractures like glass as he pulls it the rest of the way through. And then suddenly he is pulling what appears to be misty, non-real, translucent leaves from some sort of grass or bush. And as he pulls it through that force, it is now real. And then the green fades away, and you no longer see trees or leaves. And as the red energy pulses in for a brief moment, you guys see another set of walls, man-made, machined, maybe a ship, maybe a station. But then once the vacuum begins, that starts to fade away. And you get a glimpse of that. That isn't really there for you to start to understand very much.
Hey, well,
Hell.
You are now holding a branch with some leaves growing off of it. That it's a wooden branch. It looks like you grab part of maybe a shrub. You don't necessarily have grass or a bush, and it was lower to the ground, so it wasn't a tree limb. You can add to your inventory part of a shrubbery.
A shrubbery!
I think this thing is a.
Exactly.
I think this thing might be more than just a conduit. It might be like a gateway.
I can't even begin to wrap my head around it. Exterminator, are you okay?
Exterminator is going to drop down into like a 3-point stance.
Yes.
Lands all
Clear landing.
awesome, but then like pulls his helmet off. Oh my god, that was so scary. I'm hurting so bad. That thing cut me up.
How bad you hurting?
Real bad.
All right.
But I got the regeneration going, so I'll get 10 health or 10 hit points back, and then I'll get is that 20 stamina back?
If we got 10 minutes, I can give you some additional healing.
Levi, while they're doing some healing, I reroute the subsystem so that Quinn has full access. Since I have super diplomacy over Quinn, I trust him. So I give him full access for the chamber now.
Thank you for your assistance in securing this facility. In what way could I assist you, 09W12?
How many other Chris's are there left?
Within this facility, I count 3 life forms in Cradle C, 3 in the monitoring room, 3 non-responsive in the lab amassed outside the holding facility, 1 in hallway 7 that is non-responsive, 1 beyond the elevator doors, non-responsive, 4 on the floor above, non-responsive.
Does that mean the 2 on... What floor were we on, guys? Were we on the
Fourth floor, I think.
third floor? The floor we got in the
Apologies.
first fight. Okay.
Faint biosignatures responding to DNA strain of Chris. In chamber. 3.
In chamber. Not in pod 3?
Not in pod 3. Faint. Smaller.
Are there any buttholes in the chamber?
I'm pretty sure. How many you guys have? I got 1.
Well, counting our 3, is there a 4th?
Are you sure that thing didn't rip me into a butthole?
Well, I mean, there was an extra Chris I pulled out of this thing. I mean, it just seemed like the right thing to do. Apparently it was. I don't know. But
There are
Is that-
3 faint life forms still active in the chamber.
Well, I
wait a
mean,
minute.
there's 3 of us standing in here.
You think we got the Chris in us?
Quinn, please scan my friends.
You get a map readout, and the 3 signatures are in the mass of stuff just
So-
outside the glass.
This.
Yeah.
Huh. No. You 3 are safe. It's inside the growth.
So, you want us to cut into this thing?
I am not sure. Maybe just burn it.
Life signs are fading.
I'm fine with burning it.
Yeah, I think burning is usually the right call.
Lighten
I
it
don't
up.
want to smell the vapors or nothing, you know?
I think lighting it up's a good option, you know? I really think that sounds like a solid plan.
Hey, X, how low are you down? Oh, how beat up you looking?
I actually have not lost any hit points, only stamina, so I'm
How about you,
technically okay.
Exterminator?
Oh, even after regenerating 20 stamina and 10 hit points, I'm still only at 21 hit points out of 35 and 20 out of 46 stamina. So I'm
Well,
pretty wrecked. Yeah.
I'll go ahead since I can't heal stamina. I'll burn first level.
He's over half. He's
I'm-
fine.
I'm fine, guys.
By
Fine.
4E, he's not even bloodied yet.
Yeah.
I mean,
Remember,
I was.
remember, Pan is always wrecked. He's always looking rough.
You had me at 8 hit points left.
Yeah, it was a good fight.
Yeah.
09 crawls out of this hatch into the
Okay.
room here. Guys, I have a serious question to ask.
Sure.
Yeah, shoot.
What are we going to do with the last 3 Chris's?
What? Which? Oh, the ones up in the other room.
They did what we didn't hear. I mean, weird ass Chris seemed to not take too kindly what we did. Are they even still alive?
That weird.
Yes, they're alive.
What about the other 2?
Hey X, is that Chris you got there actually wearing a flight suit?
Yeah, he's got a jumpsuit, but I think he's been dead for a while. Like, I'm starting to think he was like the Xerox copy, you know? Like, he was the original, and then they just kept making duplicates of it.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Like, he might be Chris Prime.
Yeah, like Chris into the multiverse.
Yeah, I think.
That's a good title. Should go with that.
Christopher's? Christopher's?
So
To the Chrisverse.
I guess the question then, and I'll leave this
Right.
up to the rest of you.
Heal 11, Exterminator.
Oh man, that feels so much better.
These other Chris's were they were created.
Well,
Nah.
it looks like on accident, yeah? Something flung the poor guy into the chamber?
I'm not positive this was accidental.
Oh, hey, who the hell's Wyatt? He'd know, maybe. I'm gonna go out of the chamber and action my star.
Yeah, it's real weird. This Chris body, though, he was like thrown up into it. Like somebody chucked him way up here. I don't know how that happens by accident.
Can someone get Spicy his clothes? Oh, Jesus.
I was in that tank with him, like where he was. And I didn't see a single shred of clothes, so I think he probably left him in the bathroom somewhere.
I just
Now-
know that these
oh.
Chris's will probably likely, at some point in time, turn into those other things.
Yeah.
Well, I think it may have to do with the amount of exposure to this thing right here inside the broken glass thing. Might have to do with it a little bit.
Hey, Wyatt, you still breathing?
Yeah. And you see he's got his back to the outside of the elevator, but not the doors. So he's up against that wall right there. And he's got the gun down at the ready just in case. And he keeps eyeballing this door and this door.
All right, and since I think I already gave him one, and these are all gonna poof in a few hours anyways, I'm gonna give him most of my remaining mega vitamins. I've actually got to burn quite a few, so I'm gonna give him like 6. Here, just pop all these, and I need you to walk a bit with me, and can't have you bleeding out or opening a wound. So these will help,
Okay.
promise.
Should we?
Come
we
with
can't
me.
just leave him.
For now,
Okay.
just come with us. We're having a discussion.
Oh,
I'm gonna take him over and lead him to the chamber. And also, as we go around the corner, brace yourself. Naked friend on the floor over here.
Yeah, I think I'll be okay.
All right. Great.
Oh God.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, brace yourself for the naked man, not this abomination.
He's just laying, face down, ass up, just furry.
Hurry and slimy.
Yeah. Well,
Exterminator, on second glance, in the goo, you
Yeah.
do find his gear.
oh, wait a minute. Oh, look at that. I didn't see it. It was like all creased up, like in this
It-
weird, like double depression place.
Yes.
I think it got sucked up in his ass or something.
Yeah. It's all inside that cradle. It looks as if the cradle purposely removed it.
It's like a real cradle of filth in here. I'm gonna take him out.
so
You know what happened in this room, Wyatt? I think we cleared this out.
Cradle of filth.
I don't want to come across as insensitive, but our orders are to, clear this place. Like,
I don't think it's insensitive. Those things aren't my friend.
What happened here?
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, by the way, sorry about your friend. I think he's right there.
yeah, I mean,
We came in here, and then Chris started checking out the cradles because we were told that inside the chamber itself, the assets we were supposed to check data reads on were sourced from these. And when Chris started looking at this one, and he pings number 1, Cradle A. He was checking readouts, and next thing you know, this thing already had power going to it, but suddenly the pitch changed, like something was turning on. And then it looked like there was like a thundercloud in there, and the glass cracked, and Chris was the closest at the time. It just pulled him up into it, and his body was keeping it shut. And then there was a power fluctuation all throughout this floor. I don't know. At some point in there, I must have gotten hit by something. Because then stuff started getting real hazy for me. But next thing I know, I wake up and he points over at that stuff. He's like, and that stuff is all over Chris, and I'm trying to pull it off him, and It won't. And then Chris is right there in the room with me. So I start talking to him, and we try and get out, and we're looking for the rest of the team, and that's the first one that changed.
Wait a minute.
So you don't know what happened to your 2 other team members. You got knocked out, and
No idea.
can you describe them a bit to me?
Yeah, let's
Got any
see.
pictures? Any kind
Yeah.
of hollow vids?
He punches up a picture of a human woman, and he punches up a picture. The human woman appears to be Caucasian, brunette, tightly cropped hair, and then a guy that looks African American.
I run my
And
portable scanner.
He's the African American guy appears to have some sort of. He's got a cleft palate surgery scar, and he's got a nose piercing near that, and he's got tattoos near his eyes that mark him as ex-Planetary Union shock trooper.
Okay.
I run my scanner over his pictures and do a facial recognition on the camera system, find their last known locations.
And I burned my last
Oh.
1st level spell to cast no coordinates. And I rolled at random to see which of the 2 of them, and I rolled low, so the woman.
When you roll footage of what happened in the chamber, you see the moment when it powered up and the storm sparks inside the glass. You guys see it swirls up into a tornado with its own ball lightning inside. It's spherical lightning that keeps forming and cackle and spinning. And as that occurs, there were already some cracks, very minor, that start getting worse. And then all of a sudden, one pulls in and an intense vacuum sucks in everybody up against the glass as fast as possible. And Wyatt hits this tube and gets slammed up against it and then goes limp. And then the other 3 go into the hole, and Chris is the last one that gets stuck halfway.
I'm gonna assume my no coordinate spell fails. Well, it depends. I don't. They're no longer on the same planetary body.
They are not on the same planetary body.
All right.
And then you can actually continue to watch footage. And you start to see, like a cancer, this flesh grow out of Chris. And then it starts to form fetal sacs. And then you see babies birth themselves slowly, look lost, bumble around, crying a lot, become toddlers, become children, become adolescents, scavenge around for clothes. At some point, they purposely dislodge their own umbilicals from placentas that are partially attached to them. And then one starts looking around for something that's going on. And then one that eventually achieves adulthood in the span of 2 days starts talking to Wyatt.
Can I get
And
an
then it just-
estimation? Can I just follow like one of them? Get an estimation of their life expectancy?
As you clock it, the first one that changes into something terrible changes the earliest changes on the 4th day, the longest changes on the 8th day, after you crunch all these numbers, and by your count, one got out of the facility, and then another, and then another. You estimate by the time you're done with the footage that upwards of 30 got out of this facility and are somewhere on Zarasek.
Hopefully dead to the
Some were kids, some were adults, some were just monsters.
Hopefully the atmosphere took care
And then
of it.
eventually a couple monsters returned to the chamber and started tending to the young ones.
I do not
Did
feel
any who
comfortable
left
bringing
come
these
back?
back.
So, I mean, it doesn't sound like they got much to live for, really. You know, like a couple days.
Yeah, but they
Well,
stayed as monsters
that's-
for how long?
Yeah, that's a few days before they transition.
Yeah.
We don't know how long they survive.
So, here's a potentially unpopular opinion because it might cut into our paycheck. We could say the shielding of this facility got damaged on our way out, cut the exterior shields, and just let Zarasek do what Zarasek does, and just eat this place up before the next team comes in to retrieve whatever's left over.
Or
Or get dirty ourselves. Because I don't think we should. Few got out, but Zarasek's.
You get a comm, 09, from Will.
Okay.
I have compiled all knowledge from Quinn.
Thank you. Please upload into the ship's database.
Upload begin.
Quinn.
Where should I house myself now?
So technically, I have remote hack, so he can. I don't have to go back to the PC where he's at now.
So so Will never leaves you.
No, so I actually placed Will in the PC to do that download. That's an ability.
Right.
So now that I have remote hack, he can just come back to me wirelessly.
Come
I
back
don't
to you.
have go
Got
back to
it.
that PC.
Got it.
Yes.
Got
Quinn,
that Bluetooth.
I got Bluetooth. Quinn,
Yes.
do we have a source of? Shoot, I forget what the gas is called. What's the gas that puts you to sleep?
Chloroform.
Yeah, but
yeah.
I'm thinking like actual gas that like medical institutions would use.
Oh, yeah, like a.
That's an Ogle question. What's an anesthetic?
Yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
know. Notch.
Sleeping gas is a orneo gas. I don't know if it has a. If it has a name, it's probably an incredibly long one.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's nitrous something or other probably. Yeah, Debbie says the same thing.
Nitrous oxide?
Anyway,
I thought-
I'm assuming this being a medical system, there's got to be sources of some
Yeah.
kind of gas that will put creatures to sleep.
Yes. You know that there is a full gamut of 4 different strains of anesthetic that are set up within the cradles alone, let alone other sources within the labs.
Perhaps if we just filled the room, put them to sleep, I could lock down the room for good. And they would at least be peaceful.
Remifentanil, cartifentanil.
Yeah, sounds like they got a horrible fate ahead of them no matter what. So yeah, sounds
But aren't
about
we
the most
just-
humane.
Leaving a nasty surprise for the team that comes here after us to do whatever those corpos are going to do. Not that I particularly mind, but
Well,
I
you
don't-
think things would transform after they were passed out?
I don't know. It's just we didn't do a full sweep, then they'd know, right?
well,
I assume someone's going to come follow up to check our work here, right?
You can always
That's the whole
pump
reason
so
we're
much
here.
gas in there it actually just stops their systems.
That could
But
work
they-
too.
Go peacefully anyway. I'd have a much harder time killing them in their current state.
I agree. I also
Yeah.
don't feel great about it. So if we can do that, let's do that. And Maybe it's
I
the
like
kind
we
of
can
question.
really ask them because they're just going to turn on us.
I guess I'm still a little confused about what this place was supposed to be doing before this other team got here.
That's the
Yeah,
question I
yeah.
want to be asking that I know I probably shouldn't on a job like this. What the hell was in those chambers before?
Plants. I mean, I hold up a branch. I'm like, it was a plant. Were they trying to replicate food?
Well, there was a storm in it before, right? When you guys were here before with your team, was there people in these pods? Can you check the security footage on that 09? Were there people already here? Because didn't you say something about it was
Yeah.
the highest that spike since Mike had been in there, which is still weird. But since they started, so what was in there when they started?
This thing's not a gate like you
I
think.
bet it runs
might
off
be.
methane.
It runs off people by the looks of it. Look at these freaking pods.
Whatever it
Yeah.
did created a vacuum that sucked Chris up into it, right? I mean,
They stuck people in these things.
Yeah, I mean, these things are like using people as batteries, and then it powers whatever this big tube thing is in here. I think.
I have the full logs from the base currently being
The reason
transferred
I
to the
ask
ship.
is if they're looking for weird energy to pull from, we know something obviously is weird up with Mike. And we also
Yeah.
know that friend of mine was somehow in orbit around here recently, and maybe
Question.
they were
Was there
somehow
any
connected.
stipulations on the condition of the base when we left it? Or was it just to clear the base?
he wanted the squatters removed.
They were assuming. I'm pretty sure they said they wanted the place.
Well, they
Right.
definitely wanted it, but I mean, they don't know what the extent of the damage to this place is, though. I mean, I think that's well known that they didn't know that part. So, I mean, we've blown up more than a couple doorways and some equipment along the way. So, that's collateral damage on a job like this.
If you want, I could activate Project Keystone when we leave.
Nuke the whole thing.
I
I
don't,
wanted to be sure.
Yeah.
I don't
I
think
think
do the
it-
trick.
I think they need at least a facility to come to, or we're likely not to get paid.
But
But it
did the
doesn't mean that a
contract
fair-
stipulate that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
I think it kind of did.
it was implied.
See, I kind of like 09's idea too, because I don't like the idea of putting this thing back on the hands of some corpo sons of bitches. But I know we need the credits because we might be without a ship real soon.
Yeah. You think that info you've been pulling down, do you think that's gonna be good enough to know what's going on if this place ain't here?
I believe so.
Whose job was it to read the fine print of the contract? Definitely exterminators.
According to my contract, I got like 7,000 pages on something similar to this, but I don't know if it applies exactly. Yep.
Well, 09 and I were getting ship parts when you guys made that deal, so
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they want the facility intact. They
Yeah.
wanted the squatters all removed, and they meant all of them. So, that's complicated. But
I mean, it's a TMC
I have another
property too,
solution.
so
I will wipe all storage from the entire facility so that there
That
are
I
no
like.
records of the project going on, and they would have to start from scratch.
I like
hey,
that.
there you go. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that works. It's not. I don't think it goes against the contract. I mean, it is a Tim Star operation. I think technically.
I mean,
Yeah, I
We
think I'm
didn't
okay
get-
with that.
we didn't guarantee that anything like these servers wouldn't already be damaged. So, I mean,
That's true.
we just said we'd get rid of the squatters. So,
So we wipe the hard drives and we put the Chris's to a nap, and then we blast and you get in orbit, huh? Get off this freaking gas rock.
Yeah, we got
I
what?
guess
At
so.
least the 3 in there. We got the 2 up top, right?
Yeah, we left in the room up top, but didn't you say something about him being non-responsive? And they passed out when you pulled OG Chris out.
Yeah, did the two upstairs, did you say they were non-responsive?
No.
You
They're
didn't say
walking
that?
around.
Oh,
They're
okay,
walking-
so the ones we left around in that room are still up.
Yeah. So I would need to. I'm assuming in a base this intricate, HVAC systems all have dampeners to individually control temperatures for each place.
Yep.
That still operate.
There's too much equipment that has to have specific requirements, and you have to, with the potential of who knows what becoming airborne in the system, they have to be able to shut and cage off individual places. So it'd be very easy for you guys to control the atmosphere of a single room.
Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just close off HVAC to all areas that I don't want gassed.
Okay.
And then one other room. And then I will go and open up. I'm fine. So I will go into that room and open up all the canisters of sleep gas that we have to draw from there and pump into the 2 rooms where we have living Chris's still.
Okay.
Thanks.
And then
I'll seal off that room, and every other room the dampeners are going to be closed. There's no air movement.
Okay.
So that we can walk out.
So as you walk out, so you guys walk out, and the place is silent.
And I guess this will have to do. I can't think of.
Before we leave, would you want to try to take Project Keystone? Or excuse me.
Oh, that's right. You were trying to haggle for that nuke, weren't you?
Did you want to remove it?
Oh shit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I suppose I could take a look, see what kind of condition it's in.
Yeah, you do that, and even though I know it's not going to help because it's a nuke, for my own peace of mind, I'm going to drag Naked Mike back to the ship and at least feel like I'm further away from the bomb.
Where's this thing located, 09?
Locating.
You find that in the level beneath this one, that is the guts of this building and controls the geothermal power supply, as well as like the chemical processors for the version of natural gas that they can use on Zarasek. In the center of all that is a single chamber with a nuke wired up, ready to go.
All right.
It's on a pedestal to be reached for potential maintenance, and there are multiple fail-safes built in just in case.
Hold to disarm.
It's actually oddly accessible.
Well, being oddly accessible, I've got a fair amount of computer skills. Is this thing possibly retractable? Can we extract it from its
Yeah.
safely?
God damn.
There's going to be some rolling.
Okay, I just want to know.
Oh,
Exterminator goes with Helios.
yeah, no, I'm gonna get behind the ship's shields that, I don't know, some can take a nuke, some can't.
Okay.
Well, perhaps I could go with, and we could at least evaluate the difficulty before we attempt to remove.
Yeah, I'll let you guys get to that. You think maybe we should double check on the Chris's? Like, just make sure if you finish them off, they actually don't just get up and start doing shit.
Sure, I checked the feed.
They are all asleep.
I count five bodies sleeping currently.
Will it eventually be an overdose if you keep it pumping in there?
I believe their systems will shut down.
Let me think about this for a second. I got medicine.
Orange is leaned up against, you see that Gray over here is sitting down, leaned up against a wall. Orange here appears to have fallen, and Purple is cradling the kid.
24 in medicine to see if this gas will be lethal.
It will.
Oh, well.
Brain damage and death. What it says, administering too much anesthesia.
Yeah, they'll be done for sure if they're normal. Yeah, I guess we can pump it into the I don't know, what do you want to call this thing, but
I'm assuming the vacuum has done its job and just crushed that thing to a bloody mess, right?
Yeah. It's not functional.
all right. Well, just gotta hope that's it's enough, I guess. And
We can,
good
in the
luck.
time it takes them to figure out this nuke, we could just monitor their life signs and make sure that once they succumb, they don't suddenly get back up.
Yeah.
So about this nuke.
Yeah. Oh boy.
All right. So Dax is gonna fire up the stage magic to make sure he's got ample amount of light,
Okay.
and he's gonna use. I think he'll go ahead and utilize his energy rays to have to essentially cutting torch, cut the things that need to be cut out. So he's just kind of
Before you cut wires, perhaps we should evaluate.
well, that's what I'm saying. When we get to that part,
Oh, okay.
we just scavenged a nuke. Is that what that is?
No. Exterminator said he looted a couple of random things on the way out.
It's well, you didn't get a nuke, but you got an industrial backpack.
He got a drone.
well,
That's nice.
So
Could be drone. And I'll loot a few things specifically in the room that had some of the documentation for the test subjects and stuff.
well, what do you think, 09?
Give me a roll, Timmy, for your loot.
Find those. There it is, this loot table. Is that the
Well-
playing cards deck?
Oh no. Actually, roll to search for stuff. You gotta give me a check. Otherwise, you're getting junk. Yep.
Great perception rolls. 18.
You get 1 for that one.
Woohoo! Hey.
Nice.
Cliffman Fusion Cutter. That's a
Oh,
good
nice. I
one.
like this one.
Well, let me access the program and find out which wire is used to trigger first Project Keystone. Perhaps if I find the schematic, we can determine which wires we need to cut.
Sure. I guess we'll dress my.
All right. You find the lines that connect this to the main frame of the building and thus Quinn. What is unclear is exactly what you can disconnect and what you can't disconnect. You know how it's talking to the building and you know how it's getting its commands. You know it has its own power supply. And it's got enough power that it can be turned on and given a small amount of command.
I got a 29 engineering check.
What's the goal of the engineering or check?
So now I'm not looking at it as a computer subtype at all. I'm looking at it as a piece of equipment. And I want to just...
Okay.
So you kind of explained that it has its own power supply. It has, now I'm tracing wires to see how wires physically connect to activators within the room.
I wrote down a 29. So
Oh my god.
wrote down a fucking 29. Because for a 5th level, a difficult check is a 27. It's got to be harder than difficult.
Yeah.
So you managed to disconnect it from.
I don't want to
Quinn's
disconnect
ability.
it.
Okay.
I want to understand. Yeah.
You
I'm gonna
know
let
what.
Dax do
You
his
know
thing.
what contacts allow it to talk to Quinn, and you know what contacts have it connected to a mainframe. You also find a little, an additional contact that leads to the power supply of the building.
Okay. So I pull out a small piece of tape and a pen, and I label every single wire coming
Okay.
off.
Electrician 09 has done his job, Dax.
Boy.
All right. So I should just follow his instructions here now. Begin the busy work of seeing if we can't undo this thing.
Okay.
I would first remove the power supply. So
That
that if
seems like
any
good.
other wires trigger an alert, the power supply will not be able to activate.
Well, that's fair, but is that going to make it non-functional when we're all done? Or will we have to rehook all that back up?
You're only cutting a wire. So we can wire back the power supply when you want this to actually work.
Okay. All right.
You know that with the conflicting, well, not conflicting, the joint power supplies of the one that connects to the building and its own, you would have to time that so they're both shut off in case.
Okay. In case there's like a failsafe.
Yep.
Since I'm a robot, can I literally time both of my hands to do the exact same motion at the exact same time?
Yes, but this is big enough that you cannot reach the other one.
Okay.
This will be out. You have to both roll good.
God.
What are we rolling?
That would be engineering, I assume. Or no. It would be
I honestly think engineering is a better fit.
Yeah, engineering.
It probably is. Is that?
Yep.
I was figuring that's what it's going to be.
So because he bothered to label this, I've downgraded to challenging. So if you guys beat an engineering roll of 22 each, you'll both disconnect each wires at the same time.
Man, Helios, feels good being back on the ship.
Yeah. I was just considering asking Wilt to maybe pull up into the Atmo for a little bit.
You sure you want to do this? 09, you don't want to be up there with them?
I do not want to do this.
So I think I can do this on my own.
Oh, God.
I don't think you can reach both wires.
Oh, no, I got psychokinetic hand. I'm pretty sure I can.
Well, then my job here is done. Good luck, Dax.
Oh, no.
You go on the ship?
I go to the ship.
Okay, 09, you're on the ship. Dax, you're down here, kind of pacing around, looking at it, looking at the tape,
By the look
looking at the wires.
By the look of the detonator and the device, can I roughly calculate or estimate its output?
Its radius.
The blast on this would be about 5-mile radius.
We are still in the blast zone. Perhaps we should leave for a little bit.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hey, Dax, how do you feel about us pulling out about 5 miles while you finish this? You okay with that?
Are you sure that's enough?
No, I'm happy to go farther. I was just asking if it would hurt your feelings.
Yeah, you know
Well,
what?
if this goes wrong, I have no feelings left to hurt.
Yeah, right. Well, powered up.
I mean, I know you're all into the high ordnance, but,
Well, no, listen.
I mean, come on, man.
Dax, if this takes you down, we will be in the perfect, slightly lower Atmos shot to get it on camera. I promise you.
Sure.
All right. Your death will go down as the big explosion that ever went across the HoloNet, my friend. All right. Don't fuck up.
Come on, man.
All right.
Pull
We'll
through.
fucking engines up. Let's get the hell out of here.
You guys pull up and you get up to Atmo and hey, where's Dax?
Yeah, he's
Camera cuts away to Dax.
Let me see what else I got. If there's anything else I could do to make this easier.
Look at all your stuff. Look at all your stuff.
Okay.
2 rolls. You got to beat a 22 twice with engineering.
2 rolls of 22 or better?
Yep.
Okay. So, I I have here with me something that I listed that I picked up that says Dawn's EMP.
Dawn's EMP.
I think Dawn might have been a person because I got a flashbang, an EMP, and a beacon.
Oh, yes.
Oh!
That's Dawn Vic, the mercenary that tried to kill you guys.
Yeah, that's the one.
So I don't know how the device exactly is configured,
Right?
but prior to doing this, I'm going to set the EMP up so that if it starts to sound like this thing's going to go, maybe I can hit the EMP and just shut the whole thing down.
Okay. Okay.
Since I have one on me.
Okay.
And then engineering roll.
And for that EMP, I'm gonna make it that I would. That would be like a pulse grenade, kind of. Right? Hold on.
I don't know because it didn't have any stats. I just wrote it down
it's
as
gonna
equipment
be
I picked up.
weird. So
it's like
hold
the
on.
one we just had, like 09 just used earlier in the game.
And just because it's funny,
A pulse grenade, yeah.
I have two other items I picked up that I feel obligated to use at this point. The first, I have a bottle of SPF 100 solar screen.
Yes.
This rubs a little on just for good measure. And then pulls out his other bottle of Alice May Shepherd 21 whiskey.
Quality.
Takes a little swig of that, says, calm down the nerves. He's like, all right, let's do this. Gets the EMP set ready to go for in case he has to do it. And then
Okay, hold on. Let me figure out how I want to do the EMP before you hit a roll.
Okay.
So we have it sort of locked in. So I'm going to set that the EMP has to be... I'll make it that you have to do... No, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so it would be as if the bomb has to roll against the difficulty established by an EMP to not be shut off. Right? Because it'd be like the EMP is a spell.
The EMP is so yeah, like a pulse grenade does an explosion damage. It does a 1d10.
Okay.
And technically entangles. That's more for like a creature, a construct.
Okay. We'll treat it like 5th ed sleep spell rules. So here's what we'll do.
Okay.
I'm going to treat it that the EMP has a 5th level easy rating to disable electronic device of 17. And so you, the EMP grenade, can do...
Still,
5d10, and so if it can accumulate 17 points of electrical damage, that would overcome a challenge rating.
Okay.
okay.
So 5d10 to get 17 if this goes bad.
Yeah.
Okay. I can handle that. All right.
Oh, but
So-
teleporters.
Engineering.
Engineering.
16.
Roll. Roll EMP. Roll the EMP.
5d10.
5d10.
Dude.
24.
Oh my god.
Okay, you cut the wire, and all of a sudden, and the whole thing lights up, and you got an immediate countdown of 5 seconds. And you're like, ah! And you pull the pin. It's...
He takes the 2 pieces of the cord, casts mending. Cantrip, mend.
That's where we're gonna stop for the night.
Wow, you were trying that on a 50-50 shot for each roll. That's holy crap, man.
Ballsy.
He's awesome. That was awesome. Rubbing on the SPF 100, drinking a shot of whiskey. I got this.
Jesus.
Of the comedic value that didn't even get past the first wire. Just like,
Oh, okay.
oh my god.
Well, I want to
wow.
make it challenging because I'm like, shit, if they get this, they have a nuke. Like, god damn it.
Wow.
That.
I'll mark the EMP off of my.
Well, now you know where a nuke is, so that's good.
Uh-huh. So we tell our friends the job's done. Friends.
Yeah. Wow.
There's a part of me. There's honestly a part of me that thinks that this dude just wants the facility for the nuke.
Could be.
Like,
I'm not sure how hard nukes are to come by in this society, actually.
Probably on like every ship. All right. Wow. We made it, guys.
God damn. Our first major dungeon crawl.
We will never do business with a Chris ever again.
You had you scavenged. You see what you scavenged? I popped it up immediately. Exterminator.
Yeah, I saw it. I gathered it up. Wrote it
Okay,
down.
and then do a 1d2 real quick roll.
Okay. Do anything?
Okay, yeah.
There it goes.
You had a backpack, and it had within it whatever this is.
Scuba gear.
Got scuba gear.
Yes.
Oh, now if you want to put that fusion cutter down on Euro, Helios would just give
Okay.
that to you.
Thank you.
He's not going to use fusion cutter.
all right, there we go. We took that off the old.
God damn, that place was.
That was nasty.
That was nasty.
That was
Fun.
real nasty.
And then the best part is, like, the thing that's had me, I don't know, excited / nervous / prepared / unprepared, is the fact that Clint, like, back at game 1, downloaded all the knowledge this facility has, and you guys haven't even really researched it yet.
Nope.
Which is awesome and terrible at the same time
Well,
from a DM
I didn't want
perspective.
to I didn't want to interrupt the dungeon part for exposition. You know,
and
I
it would have
figured
been so much exposition.
that's just better
Yeah.
where we could just maybe write something up about what it is, and
Yeah.
that way it's not
You got
interrupting
time.
game. I just didn't
Right.
want to do
So I
that.
think now, like, that we're back on the ship, like, he can sort through all the files
Yeah.
and, like, start
Absolutely.
looking into what this place was. Like, because we still are not, I don't think, 110% sure what this place was really doing before the other team arrived.
No
and it
clue.
started pumping Chris's out, or, like, what any of this crap is.
Some weird freak accident. That made
And we got some travel time back to wherever to get our payment for doing this job. So, I mean, 09's got plenty of time to sort through it now.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for sticking with us, everybody that came by and visited. If you're a raider and you stayed with us the whole time, you're super cool. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
So that's it for tonight. I don't know when we play again for game 12. Let me double check.
Technically, my schedule says next weekend, but I don't know if that's
Oh, is
true.
it double?